Jujutsu Kaisen, I have the strongest 10 shadow techniques. Chapter 1. The World of Curse. Zenin Family Land. Alas, this corrupt family really makes people want to destroy it. No wonder they were exterminated in the end. Zenin sat under a big tree and muttered to himself. He had been in this world for 7 years. At first, he was excited when he found out that he had traveled to the world of Jujutsu Kaisen. But then he was desperate when he found out that he was reincarnated into the Zenin family. I believe that friends who have watched Jujutsu Kaisen have heard about what the Zenin family is. The corrupt family system and the crazy worship of magicians have always run through this huge and bloated family. It would be great if I could be reborn into the Gojo family, or at worst the Kamo family. Forget it, I hope God can let me awaken a better technique. Now it's already so miserable, he can't imagine how he can survive in this family if he can't awaken the technique. Those who are not Zenin are not magicians, and those who are not magicians are not human beings. Damn, what kind of bullshit is this? Zenin complained helplessly. In his opinion, the Zenin family is just mentally ill. Hey, Zenin, where's the monthly payment this month? 2 young men, about 8 or 9 years old, came over and looked at Zenin with a joking look on their faces. These 2 were also from the Zenin family, but they had awakened their own life techniques. Although it was a very useless technique, it also gave them the confidence to bully Zenin. After all, they were from the Zenin family, and the law of the jungle was the eternal law here. The 2 big brothers are here. Here are all my monthly payments. When Zenin saw the 2 men, he immediately smiled and took out his monthly payment in a flattering manner. That's pretty good. Humph, hand it over sooner next time, or you will suffer the consequences. Yes, take care, big brothers. After getting what they wanted, the 2 turned around and left. CNMD, this little brat who hasn't even grown all his hair dares to bully me so brazenly. After I awaken the spell, I will let you know why the flowers are so red. After seeing the 2 people walk away, Zenin immediately changed his expression and cursed viciously. If it weren't for the fact that he didn't have the awakening spell, and he was an orphan and couldn't tell his parents. Otherwise, 2 evil-born Zenin ghosts, I will kill you with my own hands. Forget it, let's think about how to survive this month. Zenin sighed. Of course, he didn't hand over all his supplies, otherwise he would have starved to death. There's still some left. It should be fine if you spend it sparingly. While counting his few remaining possessions, Zenin walked towards his residence. At night, after eating something casually, Zenin lay on his small bed and looked up at the dim ceiling. Is my life going to end? He thought pessimistically, but it was no wonder he thought so. Spellcasters usually awaken their own spells when they are 5 or 6 years old. Now he is 7 years old, but he has not yet awakened his own spell of life. His father was originally a spellcaster of Zenya Jiabing's organization, but he died in a mission. His mother was an ordinary person. Unable to face the death of her husband and the desperate atmosphere of the Zenya family, she chose to commit suicide, leaving behind Zenya who was hit by a dump truck and traveled through time. With no strength and no backing, he lived in this desperate family for 7 years. Forget it, if I really can't awaken the magician, it's also good to join Kyujulyu, maybe I can even worship Shinra as my master, haha. Zenya comforted himself in his heart, but even so, tears flowed from his eyes. After finally traveling to the world he likes, who doesn't want to be the protagonist? Fuck, don't think about it anymore, go to sleep. Zenin fell asleep immediately, but didn't notice that his shadow had undergone some unknown changes. The next day. Early in the morning, Zenin rubbed his eyes and climbed out of bed. Today was the day of the school test. All the children who enrolled had to fight in the ring, regardless of whether they had awakening spells or not. This was also one of the reasons why he hated the Zenin family. People like him who didn't have awakening spells would just be used as human sandbags. Fortunately, he had been working hard to exercise since he was a child, so it didn't hurt that much when he was beaten. He quickly arrived at the family's training ground, neatly dressed. He deliberately wore a few more layers of clothes. Don't ask, it was just to make it less painful to be beaten later. Under the gaze of the school elders, the test began soon, and many children began to fight in the ring. Zenin glanced at it casually. They were all little brats fighting, and occasionally there were a few awakening spells. Soon it was Zenin's turn to go on stage, and he walked onto the ring nervously. It would be better if I had no awakening spell. He prayed secretly in his heart. The moment he saw his opponent, his little face instantly fell. What a narrow road for enemies. His opponent was one of the two guys who robbed his supplies yesterday. Oh, it's you. I'm in a good mood today. Kneel down and kowtow to me 3 times and I'll let you go. Zenin Ming looked at Zenin Ye provocatively. In his opinion, he had already won. Zenin Ye clenched his fists and smiled brightly. No problem, brother Ming, I'll kowtow right away. He walked forward and punched Zenin Ming in the face while he was not prepared. I gave you face, right? You really think you are a big shot? Zenin Ming's head was buzzing from the punch, and for a moment he even forgot to fight back. Zenin Ye took this opportunity to attack Zenin Ming crazily. But soon his fist was blocked by a shield that suddenly appeared. It was Zenin Akira's construction technique. Although it was rubbish, it was better than nothing. Infuriated, Zenin Akira constructed a baseball bat with magical power and smashed it heavily at Zenin Ye. You little jerk, you dare to hit me, I will beat you to death. Zenin Ye gritted his teeth and persisted, trying to find an opportunity to fight back. He did not fantasize that the family elders would come to save him. The damn Zenin family stipulated that as long as there was no life-threatening situation, the family elders would not have to come to rescue. He did not regret his previous behavior. He did not cause trouble, but he was not afraid of trouble. Zenin Ming in front of him bullied him so much, he would feel unhappy if he did not beat him up. Zenin Ye, who could not bear it, soon fell to the ground and fainted. Seeing this, Zenin Ming still did not intend to let him go, and continued to walk forward to give him a fatal blow. Stop it, that's enough. The school elder appeared on the stage and looked coldly at Zenya and Ming. You bastard, you're just lucky. I'll beat you to death next time. Zenin Ming said this angrily, not noticing that Zenin Ye's shadow had changed. This is... The school elder quickly noticed the change in Zenin Ye, and his eyes widened. 2 dogs, one white and one black, emerged from Zenin Ye's shadow and rushed straight to Zenin Ming. Jade dog! The family elder exclaimed, and for a moment he even forgot to rescue Zenin Ming, who was knocked down by the jade dog. Chapter 2. Is this true? In the Zenin family meeting room, the head of the family, Naohito, stood up from his chair with a look of surprise on his face. I naturally dare not deceive the clan leader on such an important matter. It is indeed the genuine 10 shadow spells. The school elder reported respectfully, his eyebrows full of joy. This is the 10 shadow spells, the most powerful spell of their Zenyuan family. Arrange the best treatment for Zenyuan Ye immediately. We must cure our 10 shadows method intact. Zenyuan's Hibi waved his hand, but he still felt a little worried. Thinking of this, he planned to go and see the family's 10 shadows method in person. By the way, where is the guy who provoked Zenin Ye? Naobi turned around and asked after he stepped out of the gate. It has been swallowed by the jade dog. There was no emotion in the elder's words, as if the person being eaten was not a human. It can be regarded as his fate. Naobi sighed lightly, and did not pay too much attention to this issue. The 10 shadows method is the most important. In a gorgeously decorated room, Zenin Ye opened his eyes and felt that he seemed different. What was different? Master Ye, you are awake. Are you still feeling unwell? Seeing Zenin Ye wake up, the maid who had been serving him hurried over and asked with concern. Zenin Ye's thoughts were broken. He glanced at the maid calmly and shook his head. How did I get here? You were sent here as soon as you were injured and fell to the ground. The maid said in a low voice. Zenin Ye struggled to get up from the bed. Where's Zenin Ming? It has been bitten to death by your Shikigami. The maid's voice became weaker and weaker, as if she was afraid of accidentally offending Zenyuan Ye. Dead? He got it easy. Zenin Ye said in a low voice. If you didn't know him, you would think he was feeling sorry for the other person's death. He looked down at his hands and made a hand gesture without any instruction. He seemed to find something different about himself. Jade dogs. One white and one black, 2 jade dogs emerged from his shadow and licked Zenin Ye affectionately. The maid quickly stepped back in fear. So that's it. So that's it. He stroked the jade dog and felt like laughing out loud. But he quickly suppressed it. After staying in this family for so many years, he had learned to be low-key. What are you running around for? Can you bear the consequences of disturbing the Son of God? At this time, the head of the family, Naohito, and his younger brother, Zenin Osamu, walked in. Seeing the panic of the maid, Zenin Osamu directly scolded her. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. The maid bowed her head and apologized. Zenin-san wanted to say something, but was stopped by Niobe. Forget it, Fan. You go down first. The maid breathed a sigh of relief after receiving the order and left quickly. Humph. Zenin-shan snorted coldly, his tone full of dissatisfaction with Shibiran. The two of them noticed the jade dog beside Zenin, and their eyes suddenly widened. The real Ten Shadow method. You must be Zenin, right? How are you recovering? Niobe changed his usual behavior and looked at Zenin tenderly. Thank you for your concern, I'm fine now. If you need anything, tell the family and they will definitely satisfy you. Zenin-shan also followed suit, looking completely different from the way he reprimanded the maid before. Zenin nodded and said nothing. Okay, Shan, let's go first and let Zenin have a good rest. Zenin and Niobe saw that Zenin didn't want to communicate too much now, so he pulled his brother. Zenin-shan wanted to say something to Zenin, but was stopped by Niobe and had to give up. The two of them left quickly, obviously to hold a family meeting. The room was quiet again. Zenin changed to a comfortable position and continued to lie down. He knew that his destiny had changed. No, this is not enough, he wants to control his own destiny. His eyes were dim and he began to think about the future. After his previous understanding of this world, the story is still in its early stages, the Huayu chapter has not started yet, and Gojo Satoru is just a child. So, take advantage of this time to start taming the Shikigami one after another. Set a small goal, he wants to be the first person in the history of the Zenin family to tame all the Shikigami of the 10 Shadows. Zenin-yi's eyes are extremely hot, his experiences in his previous life and his life in the Zenin family made him full of desire for power. Now he has finally waited for this opportunity, he will not give up no matter what, he wants to become the strongest. The boy's ambition is growing wildly like weeds after rain. The meeting hall of the Zenin family. From now on, Zenin is the son of God of our Zenin family, and also the next generation of the head of the family. Who is in favor? Who is against? Zenin Hibi sat in the main seat and said firmly. I agree. I have no objection. All the elders of the Zenin family chose to agree, and no one spoke out to object. Everyone had only one thought in their mind, this is the 10 Shadows method, which was born to guide their Zenin family. Who dares to object? 3 days later, Zenin, who had recovered from his injuries, participated in the appointment ceremony of the Son of God. He looked at the Zenin family members who were fanatically watching him from the stage, and his heart was calm. He was not surprised at the news that he would become the Son of God and the young patriarch of the Zenin family. After all, this is Zenin, yes, his Zenin. Chapter 3. Zenin Family Master's Residence. Zenin supported his chin with one hand, listening to Niobe's teaching drowsily. Ever since he awakened the 10 shadow spells and became the son of Zenin family, his life has changed dramatically. Not only does he have no worries about food and clothing, but his residence is also extremely luxurious, and there are no more blind people who dare to provoke him. In order for him to grow up quickly, the family master Niobe even took time out to teach him. But he was not interested in what the old man said. Xiao, you are distracted again. Nobito stretched out his finger and flicked Zenin-yi's head lightly. Old man, you must have drunk too much fake wine, knowing clearly that I am not interested in what you have to say. Zenin raised his head and yawned. After these days of getting along, Zenin found that he still underestimated the status of the 10 shadow magic in the hearts of everyone in the Zenin family. Possessing the 10 shadow magic in the Zenin family is like being a celestial dragon, and can do whatever he wants. His mentality has also gradually changed, and he is no longer as cautious as before. Zenin Nahito shook his head helplessly, and there was nothing Zenin could do if he didn't want to listen. Who made this the most precious 10 shadow godson of their family? If it was his own son Naya, haha, do you think he can beat him to death? Okay, listen carefully, the class will end soon. Niobe touched Zenin-yi's head and encouraged him. Okay, I got it, stop nagging. Having said that, Zenin still gathered his strength and listened carefully. He still respected the patriarch Niobe. He could be considered the only normal person in the family, and he took good care of him. Although he knew that it was largely because of the 10 shadows method. Master Shan has something to ask you to go over. After a while, a Zenin family magician said outside the door. Naobito had to stop his teaching. Okay yet, you go back first. Then Naobito walked towards the meeting room. Zenin. Ye was not in a hurry to go back to his residence, but walked towards the back mountain of the Zenin family. After these days of familiarity with the 10 Shadows method, he has planned to subdue his second Shikigami. The back mountain of the Zenin family. Jade dogs. As the taming ceremony began, 2 jade dogs, one white and one black, were summoned by Zenyatta. The tamed Shikigami this time was Nu, a Shikigami that looked like an owl and had lightning powers. Nu flew into the air immediately after it appeared, but Zenyatta would not give it this chance. Under his command, the 2 jade dogs rushed towards Nu quickly, and when the distance was shortened, they jumped up directly and pounced on Nu before it could fly high. After being pounced, Nu quickly released an electric current, successfully got rid of the jade dog's bite, and continued to fly into the air. Flying creatures are really hard to deal with. Fortunately, I was prepared. Seeing Nu break free from the restraints of the jade dog, Zenin was not panicked at all, but took off the bow on his back. This was the magic tool he took out from the Zenin family sacrifice storehouse a few days ago, just to tame Nu today. He pulled the bow and put the arrow, and a sharp arrow flew towards the Nu in the air. Call out! Missed! Zenyatta's face was full of embarrassment. But he reacted immediately and ran to the nearest boulder and hid behind it. As expected, the Nu, whose attention was attracted by the arrow, soon discovered Zenyatta. A bolt of lightning was condensed by it and struck towards Zenyatta. Phew, luckily I dodged quickly. Zenin panted. After escaping from danger, he did not hesitate at all and continued to command the jade dog to interfere with Nu. He hid behind a rock and looked for an opportunity to deal a fatal blow to Nu. He bent his bow and drew his arrow, staring intently at Nu in the air, and the power of the spell was infused into the arrow. He didn't know if it was an illusion, but after awakening the 10 Shadows technique, he felt that his insight and reaction ability had also improved a lot. Whoosh! The arrow successfully hit the Nu that was attracted by the jade dog, knocking it down from the air. Then he immediately commanded the jade dog to rush up and bite the fallen Nu to death. Hey, it finally worked! After seeing the success of the plan, Zenyatta walked out from behind the stone. The dead Nu turned into a shadow and merged into his shadow. The second Shikigami of the 10 Shadows method, Nu, was successfully subdued. Now I have a way to save my life. If I meet someone I can't beat in the future, I will just let Nu take me away. Zenyatta thought happily, it seems that I am quite talented. After taming the second Shikigami, Zenyatta was in a good mood and hummed a song as he walked towards his residence. I was raised in the first duck film war, how can I deny it? Chicken, you are so beautiful. I told you about the use of mantras 2 days ago, and today I will tell you how to subdue Shikigami. Naobi cleared his throat and frowned as he looked at Zenin who was still drowsy below. Today's lesson is very important, Xiao, you should not sleep. Ah! I didn't sleep. Zenyuan, who was awakened, quickly explained. He felt as if he had returned to his middle school days in his previous life. Hey, you! Forget it, listen carefully, today I will talk about your taming of Shikigami. Listen carefully. Shit! Before he finished speaking, Zenyatta made a gesture and successfully summoned a small Nu. Zenyatta Naobi was stunned when he saw this scene. He quickly reached out and rubbed his eyes. Did I really drink too much yesterday? Come on, old man, you're not drunk, this is the real deal. I just tamed it yesterday. Zenyatta raised his chin proudly and said proudly. After confirming that this was the real Nu, Naobi excitedly picked up Zenyatta and held him high up. Xiao, you are truly a treasure sent by God to our Zenin family. Not long after awakening the 10 Shadow technique, he subdued the second Shikigami. This talent is stronger than any previous 10 Shadow technique master. What's a mere 6 eyes? I believe he will be trampled under your feet in the future. Ha 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 ha, our Zenin family will reach a new height in your hands. Looking at the Naobi who was already crazy with joy in front of him, Zenin curled his lips in disdain. Isn't it just to subdue a Shikigami? Look at how happy the child is. However, he wants more than just the Zenin family. Time flies, and 3 years have passed in a hurry. In these 3 years, the total amount of Zenin's cursed power has become more and more huge. Not only that, he has also successfully subdued the toad, the snake, the rabbit and the elephant in the 10 Shadow method. At the age of only 10, he has successfully subdued 6 Shikigami, surpassing all previous holders of the 10 Shadow method. Chapter 4. Ha ha ha, I've done it. In the back hill of Zenin's house, Zenya laughed wildly and formed hand seals one after another with his hands. Chimera, new. Chimera beast, swallowing snake. As the hand seal was formed, 2 chimera beasts, 5 or 6 meters tall and filled with a terrifying aura, appeared in front of him. This was the result of his hard research these days. The chimera beast of the jade dog and the new dog. The chimera beast of the snake and the toad, the swallowing snake. The former combines the tracking ability of the jade dog and the flying discharge ability of the new. The latter combines the entanglement ability of the snake and the swallowing ability of the toad. Looks like we can try to tame the bull. Little bull, I will pluck your horns off. Zenya, feeling happy, took back the chimera and turned around to go back to his residence to have a good rest. However, he stopped right where he was after taking a few steps. No, there is someone here. His perception ability far exceeded that of an ordinary person, allowing him to instantly detect the other party's presence. However, the presence was very weak, so he could not find the target immediately. Who could it be? People from the Zenin family are not allowed to enter here at will when I am practicing. Could it be someone from Gojo or Kumo? He thought quickly in his mind, and at the same time, he began to walk towards the Zenin residence with forced calmness. Have you been discovered? Zenin Yi's pupils dilated. He didn't expect that the other party would take the initiative to come out. Hey, you are the 10 shadow kid in the family, you don't seem that great. Shen Er came out picking his ears, his tone full of disdain. Fushiguro, what? You know me? But what the hell is Fushiguro? Shinji looked at the 10 shadow kid in front of him with a puzzled look on his face. When did he change his last name? Ahem, just a slip of the tongue. Brother Shen Er, I was looking for you some time ago, but unfortunately you were not in the family. Why are you looking for a useless person like me who has no magical power? Besides, what's so good about this corrupt family? Shen Er laughed at himself, and when he mentioned the Zenin family, he was full of contempt. Don't say that. Those old guys are just blind. I really admire brother Shen Er. Zenya laughed and tried to cling to Shen Er's thigh. You are quite interesting, little brat. I thought you would become ignorant under the guidance of those old-timers. Shen'er's tone was full of surprise. He obviously didn't expect Zenya to think so highly of him. So, Uncle Shen'er, can you be my physical training teacher? Zenya said expectantly. You are such an interesting kid, how can you be sure that I can teach you physical skills? Zenin Shen'er asked with great interest. I have heard of Shen'er's achievements. Your physical skills are number 1 and no one dares to claim second place. Okay kid, stop talking so smoothly, I won't teach you. Unless... Unless what? Zenya asked quickly. Unless you fight me, let me see the strength of the 10 shadows, and see if you are qualified to be my disciple. As soon as the voice fell, Shen Er rushed over and smashed his huge fist towards Chan Yuanye. So fast. There was no chance to dodge. Chan Yuanye was shocked and quickly stretched out his hands to protect himself. The powerful impact directly knocked him out. Jade Dog. Chan Yuanye, who got up from the ground, did not dare to delay for a moment and summoned the Jade Dog directly. Shen Er's figure moved quickly and soon came in front of him. Go! Under Zenin Yi's command, the 2 Jade Dogs pounced on Shen. He took advantage of this gap to quickly make hand seals. New, Snake, Toad. One after another, Shikigami were summoned by him. Shen also quickly got rid of the entanglement of the Jade Dogs and continued to rush towards Zenya. Zenya quickly jumped onto the back of Nu, and began to make hand seals while flying into the sky with the help of Nu. Chimera snake swallowing. It's quite interesting. Looking at the giant snake in front of him, Shen'er's eyes were obviously much more excited. That's the right way to go. He rushed forward instead of retreating, and rushed directly towards the swallowing snake. The swallowing snake opened its mouth wide, and spit out a thin long tongue from its mouth, wrapping up Shen'er's whole body. Shen struggled hard and directly broke the swallowing snake's tongue. After breaking free from the restraints, Shen raised his fist and hit the swallowing snake quickly, and soon beat it to death. Nourish! At this time, several lightning bolts struck Shen, who dodged quickly. This saved the snake's life. Zenya quickly took back the snake and released a large group of rabbits. The rabbits formed a huge circle around Shinner, blocking his vision. Zenya took the opportunity to combine Nu and Jade Dog into a chimera. What is this? Shen was full of vigilance and soon saw the clues. Blocking my view. Then the attack should come from the sky. He looked up instantly, but it was too late. A huge elephant fell towards him. Pang! The falling of the elephant made a loud noise, and even the rabbits were crushed to death. Zenya, who was riding on the new dog, was still staring at the ground, not relaxing his vigilance at all. He knew that it was impossible to kill this tyrant with this level of skill. Shit! Zenin exclaimed, and quickly commanded the Nu to fly higher. It turned out that just now, Shinner actually used the Mangxiang as a springboard to fly directly towards Zenin. You react pretty fast, kid. After falling back to the ground, Shen turned his head and said to Chan Yuan. Compared with his previous disdain, Shen eyes now showed a hint of appreciation. Brother Shen I have one last trick. If you can take it, you win. Chan Yuan looked at Shen seriously. Oh? Can you come out and have a look? Shen looked at the Zen temple knight with interest. Brother Shinner, be careful behind you. Zenin's eyes condensed, and the next second, the elephant behind Shinner directly sprayed a stream of water from its nose at an extremely fast speed. Nu, discharge, maximum attack rate. The current and water flow hit Shinner at the same time, and the two combined to produce a powerful electroconductive reaction, directly turning the land into scorched earth. Brother Shinner, are you okay? Zenin flew to Shinner on his new dog, looked at Shinner whose body was charred, and asked with a worried look on his face. It's okay. This level won't cause me too much harm. Also, you know how to care about me now? You hit me so hard just now. Shen looked speechless. Hehe, then you have to give it your all, otherwise how can you be qualified to be your disciple, Uncle Shen Zenin scratched his head embarrassedly. Then how can you be sure that you are qualified to be my disciple now? Shinner's tone was full of playfulness. Uncle Shen Zenin looked at Shen with a pitiful look. Okay, I really can't stand you, little brat. Shen felt uncomfortable under such gazes and quickly said. From now on, boy, you will be my disciple. Chapter 5. After successfully establishing a master-disciple relationship with Shen Chan Yuan walked towards Chan Yuan's house with great joy. He finally got a big supporter. Knight Master. Young Master Ye is back. Along the way, everyone in the Zenin family greeted Zenin, but Shen was left aside like air. Boy, it seems that you are quite popular. Shen walked with his arms crossed and even teased Chan Yuan. It was obvious that he was used to the treatment he had received. Chan Yuan narrowed his eyes slightly. It seemed that the transformation of the Chan Yuan family had to be put on the agenda as soon as possible. He didn't want to lose the fighting force of Shen Xiao, why are you staying with this guy, Shire? At this time, Zenya Shan, who was passing by, noticed Shire beside Zenya and asked with a frown. In his opinion, Zenya Shire was a waste without magic power and was not qualified to stay with the 10 shadow godson of their family. Uncle Shan, I have already asked Brother Shen to be my physical training teacher, please show some respect to me. Zenin said expressionlessly, his seemingly gentle tone was full of warning. What? How can this guy Shinner teach you? Zenin Shan said in disbelief, and a strong sense of jealousy rose in his heart. At first, he also tried to become Zenin's teacher to deepen his relationship with him. But he was sternly rejected by his brother Naohito, on the grounds that the 10 shadow godson did not need to worship others as his master. Now Zenin Shinner has become Zenin's teacher, which makes the already narrow-minded Zenin Shan jealous. If Brother Shen is not qualified, I think you, Uncle Fan, are even less qualified. Zenin said bluntly. He felt that he had given too many smiles to the Zenin family recently. You insult your elders, it's treasonous. Zenin Shan stretched out his trembling hand and pointed at Zenin, obviously very angry. How to slap uncle, do you want to fight me? Zenin really hated people pointing fingers at him, so he made a hand seal. Jade dogs. 2 large jade dogs, each 5 meters tall, appeared in front of Zenin Shan, causing him to swallow the insults he was about to say. These these are the 10 kinds of shadow spells. This is the most powerful family ritual of our Zenin family. This is the first time that Zenin summoned a Shikigami in front of the Zenin family members. All the Zenin family members who were watching him opened their mouths wide and looked at him enthusiastically. Okay, Zen fan, I can be his teacher, which means I have the ability to teach him. And you are just a waste. Shen Er walked up to Chan Yuanshan and sneered, not caring about Chan Yuanshan's twisted eyes. He was very surprised that Chan Yuanye stood up for him, and he felt a little warm in his heart. This was one of the few times in this family that he felt warm. You guys. I'm going to tell the clan leader. Zenin Shan finally didn't choose to take action. He turned around and left, as if he had made up his mind. Tisk, you coward. Shen Er said disdainfully. In his opinion, the Zen fan was only capable of this. Brother Shen'er, I'm going to go back and rest first. I'm exhausted from the battle just now. Zenin yawned. The battle between the Chimera Beast and Shen'er had taken a huge toll on his body. After all, he was just a 10-year-old boy. Okay, go back, kid, I'll teach you how to practice from tomorrow. Shen Er nodded and walked towards his residence. Patriarch, please judge for yourself. What right does that guy have to teach yet? He will lead Ye astray. Ye was about to attack me just now. In the Zhibi family, Zenin Fan was angry and complained to the Zhibi people. The Zhibi people were overwhelmed by what they heard. You mean, Xiao worshipped Shinji as his physical training teacher? Yes, master, what right do you think this guy Shen Er has? Okay, you go down first and help me call Shen'er over. Naobi raised his hand to interrupt his brother's spell. After Zenin Fan left, he couldn't help but stretch out his hand and rub his forehead. One by one, it makes me worry. Xiao, I hope you can change this family in the future. Naobi knew that he had no way to change this corrupt family, so he placed all his hopes on Zenin yet. Hey, old man, what do you want to talk to me about? Shen'er pushed open the door and walked in, saying straight to the point. It is worth mentioning that he and Zenin addressed Naobi in exactly the same way. You really haven't changed at all. You've caused me trouble as soon as you came back. I was hoping that you would be away for a few years so that I could have less worries. Xiao has the most powerful technique of our Zenin family. What do you think you can teach him? Naobi said with his beard raised. It was that kid who asked me to teach him taijutsu. I don't want to see such a good seedling turn into a stubborn old orange. Just don't worry about this, old man. Just because you can't teach him doesn't mean I can't. I am better than you. Shen Er said lazily, not taking Zhibiran's words to heart at all. You, forget it. Then you should teach well. If there is no result, stop immediately. Got it. If there is nothing else, I will leave. I still need to train that kid tomorrow. The next morning, Zenin was pulled out of bed by Shen'er. Brother Shen, what are you doing? I haven't even put on any clothes yet. I'll give you 3 minutes to put it on. What's so good about a little sparrow? You. Zenin finally put on his clothes and walked out of the house with sleepy eyes. The two of them soon came to the back mountain. During this period of time, I will teach you the most basic practice. When your physique improves, I will teach you fighting skills. Good job, Shen Erge. Calling me teacher is disrespectful. Shen Er reached out and knocked on Chan Yuanyi's head. Let's warm up first and try running 10 kilometers. Duo shao. Come on, kid, get moving. At Shen'er's urging, Zenin had no choice but to start running. After running 10 kilometers, he sat down on the ground. Phew, this is too tiring. If you want to have a good physique, you can't do it without hard training, unless you are bound by heaven and curse like me. Shen Er's face did not change at all. He walked forward and picked up Zenin. Don't sit down in a hurry, stand up and take a few steps. Rest for 10 minutes, then we start the next exercise. Still coming. Zenin complained, but his body still climbed up honestly. He also knew the importance of physical training, which was why he asked Shen Er to be his teacher. In order to become stronger, this little pain was all he could bear. Chapter 6. These days, Zenin has been practicing physical skills with Shen'er. Under Shen'er's encouragement, his physical fitness has improved rapidly. Not bad, boy, you adapted to my training rhythm so quickly. It seems that I can teach you some basic fighting skills. Hehe, it's all thanks to teacher Shinner's good teaching. Faced with Shinner's praise, Zenya flattered him back. Boy, stop flattering me. By the way, you have been practicing physical skills with me every day during this period. Have you not neglected the practice of the 10 Shadows method? Shen Er asked the question that concerned him. He didn't want Chan Yuanya to neglect the 10 Shadows method because of practicing physical skills. If that happened, the old oranges in the family would scold him to death. Don't worry, teacher. I practice the 10 Shadows method every night. And before you tame a new Shikigami, there is nothing new to learn in the 10 Shadow method. No wonder it's so hard to wake you up every day. Shen Er muttered, and suddenly a bold idea emerged in his mind. Hey kid, can I help you while you tame the Shikigami? Hey? Well, it seems that there is no such thing as a no. The two looked at each other and understood each other's thoughts. They soon came to an open place. Come on, boy, let the bull out so I can see it. I understand, master. Zhen Yuanya made a complicated gesture and began to tame the cow. Moo. After the bull came out, it immediately started running, and its speed kept increasing. Teacher, don't let it accumulate power. Zenya immediately summoned 2 jade dogs and used the 10 shadows technique to fuse them together. Jade Dog Hun. This is exactly the Hun dog summoned by Fushiguro Megami, but unlike him, Zenya does not need to sacrifice another jade dog, but can directly fuse the 2 jade dogs. Nu, Snake, Toad, Chimera, Nightmare Snake. A giant snake with 3 heads and wings on its back was summoned by him. This is the strongest power he has mastered so far, a chimera that can fuse the power of 3 Shikigami. Brat, you are improving really fast. Shen Er couldn't help but sigh. Chan Yuanya was definitely the most talented magician he had ever seen, even better than the Gojo family's 6-eyed magician he had seen before. I can't let my disciples look down on me. Shen Er rushed forward and grabbed the bull's horns from the front and fought it hard. After a stalemate for a while, he threw the bull out with an over-the-shoulder throw. Wow, this beast is really strong. Hey kid, I'll leave the rest to you. Shen Er panted slightly, he also wanted to see the power of Zhen Yuanyi's new chimera. Don't worry, teacher. Zhen Yuanya showed a confident smile, and then began to command the Hun dog and the Nightmare Snake to attack. The Hun dog rushed forward and bit the Guanyu, who had not had time to climb up, and began to bite it. The Nightmare Snake spit out its 3 heads at the same time and bound the Guanyu with a long and thin tongue, and there was an electric current attached to its tongue. Under the siege of the 2 Shikigami, the Guanyu's breath soon became weak, and soon it was completely motionless, turning into a ball of liquid and merging into the shadow of Zhen Yuanya. Guanyu, tamed. Stinky boy, why do I feel like you can successfully subdue this Shikigami even without me? Shen Er walked to Zenenyi's side, feeling that he had no sense of participation. How is that possible? If you hadn't knocked it down right away, I wouldn't have been able to tame it so easily. Zenya said modestly. Okay kid, I've tamed the Shikigami for you. Next, I will teach you combat skills. If you want to become a powerful sorcerer, it is not enough to have powerful techniques. You also need excellent physical skills. I understand, teacher. In the next few days, Zenin Shenner began to teach Zenya fighting skills seriously. He was like a piece of unpolished jade, being polished bit by Shenner. Cousin, why didn't you go to training with cousin Shinji today? Zenenya walked into Zenenyi's residence carelessly and successfully woke up Zenenya who was still sleeping in. Because Shinji was out today, Zenenya had a rare day of rest. Go out. Zenenya didn't even open his eyes, and made a random gesture to let Neya go out. Cousin, dogs can't howl, dogs can only howl. Damn it. The annoying Zenenya was thrown out by the jade dog summoned by Zenenya, biting his collar. Then the jade dog stood guard at the door of Zenenyi's house like a door god, prohibiting anyone from entering. Finally, it's quiet. Zenenya changed to a comfortable position and continued to sleep. Ever since he saw Zenenya summoning a Shikigami to intimidate Zenin Shan that day, Neya has been amazed and has become Zenenyi's most loyal follower, little brother. Of course, he only thinks so. Zenenya is very annoyed with him because he has come to follow him and Shinji to train more than once. But he was always thrown out by Shinji as garbage. Zenin family meeting room. Neya Hito, Zenin Shan, and Zenin Shinichi gathered together. They are discussing whether to let Shinji continue to teach Zenin yet. Zenin should be taught by me. Look at what that guy Shinner has taught Xiao these days. You don't want to learn the 10 Shadows technique but have to learn Taijutsu. If you continue to teach us the 10 Shadows technique, our Zenin family will be useless. Zenin Shan said fiercely, spitting all over the two men's faces. Elder Shan, this is wrong. Physical skills are equally important to magicians. I think Shinner teaches well. You may not be better than him if you teach. Zenayuan Shinichi retorted. He and Zenayuan Shan have always been at odds, so he naturally didn't want to see the 10 Shadow godson of his family fall into the hands of the other party. Inside. Master, please tell me. Enough of the fan, we have to believe in Xiao. Don't use your narrow-minded understanding to speculate on the 10 Shadow method. Niobe slammed the table hard. He had enough of his unreasonable brother. You will regret it. Fan. I am the head of the family. Looking at the two people fighting against each other, Zenin Shanai had no choice but to act as a peacemaker. Patriarch, Elder Shan, why don't we have a test? Let's see if Xiao has fallen behind in the practice of the 10 Shadows method under Shinner's teaching. After hearing Zenin Shinner's suggestion, Niobe's eyes lit up. This is feasible. It is a good opportunity for us to see the power of the 10 Shadows method. But how to conduct the test? None of the younger generation of the family can match Xiao, we can't just go on the field ourselves. Niobe thought to himself, it's fine if we win, but if we can't win, where will these old guys put their faces? Leave this matter to me, master. I have a good idea. Zenayuan Shinichi smiled, revealing an unconcealable cruelty. Chapter 7. The next day. Zen Temple Knight woke up early because he was back today and he didn't want to be dragged out naked again. Cousin, my father asked you to go to the underground training ground. Naya, who was as resilient as a dogskin plaster, showed up at the door of Zenayuan Yi's house on time. But today he didn't come in directly, but shouted outside. Zenayuan Yi didn't say anything, he packed up and walked out of the house. As soon as he came out, he saw Naya staring at Yuquan. What does that old man want from me? I still have to go to training. It seems that the elders of the family want to check your practice results, cousin. Also, cousin, can you please be nicer to me? Naya said carefully, without any trace of his later arrogant and domineering attitude. Zenayuan Ye turned his head and looked at him seriously for the first time. Wait until you reach the special level. Really? I will try my best. Naya seemed to be energized. By the way, where is brother Shinner? It seems that they are also at the underground training ground. They are all waiting for you, my cousin. Okay, let's go there too. He knew what those old guys were thinking. They just wanted to see if he had fallen behind in the practice of the 10 Shadows method. And they took this opportunity to prevent Shinner from teaching him. Oh, they are so stubborn. The Zenin family will perish sooner or later. They are the kind of pig teammates that can't be led. Underground training ground. The head of the family, Nahito, Zenin Osamu, Zenin Shinichi, Shinner and several elders were all present. Shen Er, after the test, I will see if you are qualified to teach the 10 Shadows method again. Zen Yuan Shan said coldly, his tone did not conceal his disgust. Haha, you old oranges don't have to worry about this. Besides, the cursed spirits you arranged can't possibly trouble him, okay? Humph, you are just bragging. There are 5 first-level curse spirits, and a large number of low-level curse spirits. Even though he is a 10 shadow technique, he has not yet subdued 9 Shikigami. These cursed spirits are enough to give that kid a hard time. Then let's wait and see. Zenin Shenner turned his eyes away, not wanting to argue with Zenin Shan anymore. Okay, stop arguing. If Xiao is in danger later, go down and rescue him immediately. Don't let him get hurt. The head of the family, Nahito, said seriously. In his eyes, nothing was more important than the safety of Zenin yet. Yes, master. Many members of the Bing organization said hurriedly. Under the gaze of everyone on the scene, Zenayuan walked in with his hands in his pockets. Naya followed closely behind him, like a loyal hawk. Niobe, who was sitting on a high place, saw this scene without any dissatisfaction, and even felt a little relieved. In his opinion, it was a blessing for his son to follow Zenayuan in this life. I'm here, the test can start now. Zenin said impatiently, his eyes sweeping over everyone above him. Naya, come back. Niobe waved to Naya below, and Naya reluctantly left the venue, and before leaving, he did not forget to cheer up Zenin yet. Come on, cousin. Don't worry, these cursed spirits can't hurt me. After arriving at the training ground, he felt a group of disgusting cursed power. It seems that these cursed spirits are the subject of his test. Let's get started. Following Niobe's order, Zenin Shinichi opened the cage that held the cursed spirits. A large number of cursed spirits immediately rushed out, filling the entire training ground. Some of the blind cursed spirits had already rushed towards Zenin yet. Jade Dog. Nu. Zenin Ye casually formed two hand seals and released the Jade Dog and the Nu. The two huge Jade Dogs began to devour the cursed spirits wantonly, while he himself flew to a high place on the Nu, overlooking the entire underground training ground. This is the power. Looking at the low-level cursed spirits that were powerless under the Jade Dog's mouth, the elders of the Zenin family became excited. At this time, the 5 first-level cursed spirits noticed Zenin Ye and began to move towards this side. Jade Dog Hun. Zenin Ye made a gesture, and the 2 Jade Dogs merged together and pounced on one of the first-level cursed spirits. Toad. Big Snake. Chimera, Nightmare Snake. The chimera formed by the 3 Shikigami appeared at Zenin Ye's feet. The 3 heads of the Nightmare Snake spit out electricity at the same time, striking at the cursed spirits below without distinction. This is it. Everyone watching the battle from above couldn't help but stand up. This is the most powerful technique of our Zen temple. Ha ha ha, with this power, who knows, Gojo Kumo, the world of spell casting should regard our Zenin family as the most respected. Cousin, you are indeed the strongest. I will definitely try my best to follow in your footsteps. Naya's face was full of enthusiasm, staring at Zenin Ye intently, not wanting to miss a single second of the battle scene. What a bunch of ignorant guys. Shen Er crossed his arms and looked at these people who had never seen the world with disdain. He had always been full of confidence in Zenin Ye. No, it's impossible, this is impossible. How could he be so strong? Yes, I still have a trump card, he can't win. Zenin Shan's eyes were red, and he looked crazy. The desire for power had completely blinded his eyes. Under the attack of the Hun Dog and the Nightmare Snake, the low-level curse spirits below were quickly killed and injured, and only the last 2 first-level curse spirits were left. They are 2 really tenacious little cockroaches. Zhen Yuanyat, who was sitting on the Nightmare Snake, yawned. In his opinion, this battle was a foregone conclusion. Wait, this breath. He suddenly frowned. Just now, he felt a curse power stronger than these first-level curse spirits. A humanoid curse spirit with 4 arms walked out from the pile of curse spirit corpses. As soon as he appeared, he rushed towards Zenya Yuanya with a clear goal. It was obvious that he found that the other party was controlling these Shikigami. It's quite smart. It knows how to observe the situation before taking action. Is it a special grade curse spirit? Zenin Ye was rarely interested. He sat up straight and made a hand seal that he had never made before. A full elephant, half the size of a training ground, fell from the sky and pinned the newly emerged special grade cursed spirit to the ground. It's a pity that he doesn't have a domain, so he poses no threat to me at all. Zenin Ye shook his head and sighed. Sometimes being too powerful is also a kind of loneliness. Hey? He's still quite strong. Looking at the other party still trying to crawl out from under Mangxiang, Zenin Ye showed a wicked smile. I'll use you to test out my newly tamed Shikigami. Piercing Bull. He made a gesture to summon Piercing Bull, and let it start running around the Manxiang at a high speed. When Piercing Bull had almost accumulated enough power, he took back the Manxiang. Puff! The special cursed spirit that had just climbed up from under the elephant was smashed into pieces by the rapidly charging bull. Chapter 8. How's it going, old man? Do you need to continue the test? Zenin Ye flew over the training ground on his Nu and looked at Zenin Naohito with confidence and pride. Xiao, you tamed the bull. That's right, this is all thanks to the help of my cousin Shinji. Zenya Yuanya winked at Shinji who was standing next to Niobe. Xiao, you can really bring me surprises. It seems that I can unload the burden a few years in advance. Zenin Naohito said with relief. He didn't expect that Zenin Ye had a power far beyond that of a first-level sorcerer at the age of 10. If he continues to develop like this, it will be just a matter of time before he becomes a special-level sorcerer. By then, won't the Zenin family have the final say in the sorcery world? Just when Naohito was unable to extricate himself from his beautiful fantasy, Zenya interrupted his fantasy. Forget it. I have no interest in managing the family. But, there are some things that need to be resolved. Old man, I am the next head of the Zenin family, right? Hearing Zenenyi's suddenly cold tone, Zhibiran was shocked. Of course, Xiao, no one except you is qualified to be the next head of the family. Zenenya showed a sneer at the corner of his mouth, then, how should the crime of murdering the next head of the family be punished? What? Someone actually wants to murder you? Who is it, who has such a big guts? After hearing what Zenenya said, Zhibiran's eyes seemed to be spitting fire. In his eyes, Zenenya is the hope for the rise of their Zenin family. He will never allow anyone to harm Zenenya. Hey, don't hide behind. I'm asking you a question, Uncle Shan. Zenenya looked at Zenin Shan, who was trying to reduce his presence, with a playful look. Shan, you actually want to murder Xiao? Naobi looked at Zenin Shan in disbelief. He wondered if his brother's brain was kicked by a donkey. Who gave him the courage to murder Shikijho? I didn't, don't talk nonsense. Zenin Shan waved his hands quickly and denied it 3 times in a row. Then he looked at Zenenya sincerely, Xiao Yat, you know me, how could I murder you? Oh, so it wasn't you who put that special grade cursed spirit in there. Special grade cursed spirit? What special cursed spirit? Looking at Zenin Shan pretending to be stupid, Zenenyi's contempt deepened. If he dared to take responsibility for his actions, Zenenya might even look at him with a higher regard. However, he had already expected Zenin Shan to deny it, and he had already found a witness in advance. Cousin Shanai, I remember that you were responsible for casting these curses, right? Did you send in a special grade curse spirit? Seeing Zenenya looking at him, Zenin Shanai hurriedly said respectfully. Master Yat, I did not send a special grade curse spirit to the training ground. But I ran into Elder Shan on the road when I left the underground training ground yesterday. Zenayuan Shinichi pointed the finger at Zenayuan Shan in a calm tone. You are talking nonsense. When did I come to the training ground? Zenayuan Shan was furious. He pointed at Zenayuan Shinichi and shouted angrily. Zenayuan Shinichi glanced at him indifferently and did not take him seriously. Uncle Shan, my jade dog smelled the remaining curse power on you from that special grade curse spirit. How do you explain this? Zenenya was unyielding. He was determined to get rid of this rat shit from Zenin fan today. How is this possible? I clearly. After the words fell, Zenin Shan shut his mouth belatedly. Brother, I. He turned to look at his brother Naobi, hoping that he would come out and say something. Naobi looked at his brother with a look of disappointment and turned his head away. Jade dog Hun. Zenenya coldly formed a hand seal, and a tall and mighty Hun dog emerged from his shadow. Then it pounced directly towards Zenin Shan. Zenin Shan was stunned and stared with his eyes wide open. He didn't expect that the other party would dare to attack him. For a moment, he even forgot to dodge. It was not until he felt the pain of the dog biting his body that he realized it and started to cry out. Spare me, I won't dare to do it again. Although Zenin Shan is also a first-level magician, he is in the management level. Years of pampering have made him not good at fighting. Only then did he realize how clownish his behavior was. Under such power, all his thoughts seemed so stupid. As time passed, Zenin Shan's shouting became weaker and weaker until it disappeared. In such a family, it is extremely stupid to be an enemy of Xiangfa. Zenenya looked at the body of Zenin Shan at his feet with an indifferent expression. He knew too well the status of Xiangfa in the Zenin family, which was why he dared to kill Zenin Shan in front of the head of the family and so many elders. Only Zenin Shan, this idiot, could not figure himself out. Patriarch, elders, Zenin Shan attempted to murder the 10 shadows of the family, but I killed him on the spot. Do you have any opinions? Zenenya looked at the dumbfounded Naobi and the elders. Xiao, why did you kill him directly? Naobi said with great sorrow after he came to his senses. After all, Zenin Osamu was his younger brother. Patriarch, I believe no one knows your brother better than you. I am trying to get rid of harm for the Zenin family. Zenenya said seriously. He could not allow himself to have such a person who hated him. Then you can't. Enough. Shen Er said coldly, I know my uncle very well. I think Xiao did the right thing. Do I have to wait until Xiao dies in his hands before holding him accountable? The Zenin family has waited for so many years for such a 10 shadows method. I don't need to say much about Xiao's importance, second uncle. Shinner's words successfully made everyone present take it seriously, not to mention that Zenin fan had bad intentions. The elders of the family also spoke up to persuade Naohito. Yes, Patriarch, you are the one who was blinded by power. It's not Xiao's fault. That's right, Xiao has been kind since he was young, and he definitely didn't kill Shan on purpose. You guys, Naobi sighed and said nothing in the end. You all should leave first, Xiao, come with me. He glared at Zenin fiercely, motioning him to follow him. Zenin raised his eyebrows and fearlessly followed Naobi's figure. In any case, his goal had been achieved. Chapter 9. Do you have anything to say? Naobi asked, sitting in the main seat, looking at Zenin in front of him. Zenin shook his head and said nothing. You, how can you be so impulsive? Zenin Naohito sighed, if you wait a few more years, the whole family will be yours, and Shan is just a nobody. Are you blaming me for killing your brother, master? Naobi was stunned. Xiao, don't you think it's ridiculous to pin the hope of a family's rise on a 10-year-old child? Zenin sneered without hesitation. Then he walked forward and looked down at Naobi, who was sitting in the seat of the head of the family. Don't you think that this corrupt family should change? This is a good start. I'm just helping Zenin clean up pests. Your own brother can't do it yourself, so I have to help you. What's wrong with that? Naobi sat in his seat in shock. Unknowingly, the boy's strength had caught up with him. But extraordinary times call for extraordinary measures. Do you want the Zenin family to be trampled under the feet of the Gojo family forever? Naobito was silent, as if he was thinking about what Zenin said. After a moment, he raised his head. What are you going to do? Old man, this corrupt family should change, starting from now on. Cousin, my father didn't make things difficult for you, did he? As soon as Zenin walked out of the patriarch's mansion, Zenin stuck to him like a piece of taffy. What can happen to me? I am the 10 shadows. The old man can only give me a lecture. Hey, I know it. Cousin, you looked so cool when you killed Elder Shan. I didn't expect you would actually dare to kill him. Naya's eyes were full of stars. Do you think I shouldn't kill him? How is that possible? He deserved death, but he dared to murder my cousin. But cousin, you can even exorcise special grade cursed spirits, that's really cool. Zenin walked towards his residence while dealing with Zenin Naya. Okay, I'm going to go back and rest first. I still have training tomorrow. Go play in the mud by yourself. After arriving home, Zenin closed the door without hesitation, completely ignoring Zenin Naya, who wanted to follow him in. Ah, teacher. Zenin quickly noticed Shen who had been waiting here for a long time. You are a little irrational today. Shen said calmly, and it was obvious that he did not understand why Chan Yuan killed Chan Yuan fan in front of so many people. Those old guys didn't blame me, so what's there to be afraid of? Teacher, don't forget that I am a master of the 10 shadows method. What's the big deal about killing a mere Zenin Shan? Zenin said disdainfully. Shen stood up, walked to Zenin and touched his head. Next time you see someone you don't like, just tell the teacher and I'll help you kill him. You still have to stay in this family, so your hands shouldn't be stained with too much blood. Teacher, you are leaving. Zenin looked at Shenner in surprise. He did not expect that the other party would have the idea of leaving Zenin's house at this time. Shenner did not say anything, but just walked out by himself. Go to bed early, we have training tomorrow. Teacher. Seeing Shen leave, Chan Yuan hurriedly said. I will change this family. This will always be your home. Shen paused for a moment, then left without looking back. However, a smile appeared on the corner of his mouth unconsciously. This stinky boy. Alas, is it still impossible to keep teacher Shen Zenin sighed leisurely, with helplessness written all over his face. Forget it, let's practice first. The next day, in the meeting room, Naobi summoned all the elders of the Zenin family and announced that he would reform some of the existing systems of the Zenin family. Master, are you okay? We in the Zen temple have been adhering to the concept of the supremacy of magicians for hundreds of years. Why do we have to change it suddenly? It's impossible, absolutely impossible. How can those useless people without any skills be equal to us? Many elders expressed their opposition on the spot. Everyone, be quiet. I am discussing this with you seriously. Naohito slapped the table with his big hands. What Zenin said yesterday made him see the shortcomings of the Zenin family clearly. Moreover, he had long intended to reform the Zenin family, but the conservatives led by his brother Zenin Shan had always opposed it. Now that Zenin has killed Zenin Shan, although he is very sad, the resistance to the reform has been reduced a lot. Hey, thinking about it this way, Shan's death is not unacceptable. Patriarch, reform is not a trivial matter, especially since this is the law of our ancestors. I think we should just leave it at that. At this time, an elder with more experience stood up and said. With his support, the voices of those who opposed became stronger. Shut up, this is what Xiao wants. Everyone, you don't want to see the 10 shadows and the family fall out, do you? Hearing the name of Zenin, the voices of opposition from the elders suddenly weakened. After all, the other party was the ancestor of their Zenin family, and he killed Zenin Fan in front of them yesterday. So it was the Son of God who asked for it. Oh, why didn't you tell me earlier, Patriarch? There must be some truth in Shen's thinking. Suddenly, I thought, it is not impossible to give some respect to those useless people without magical powers. The elders all spoke at once, their eyes focused on the most senior elder. The elder stroked his grey beard a few times and said thoughtfully, since it is the order of the Son of God, we will just do it. From now on, you don't need to ask me about the Zenin family's affairs. Just listen to the Son of God and the head of the family. After he finished speaking, he turned around and left. Everyone looked at his back, as if they were watching a setting sun. They knew in their hearts that a new sun would rise slowly in the Zenin family. The light it brought to the Zenin family would be even hotter. Chapter 10. Behind the Zen temple, 2 figures, one in front and one behind, are moving quickly through the forest. Hey, you little brat, you've been learning from me for so long, and all you've learned is running away. The 2 men were Chan Yuanye and Shen Er. Today, Shen Er suddenly had an idea and wanted to test Chan Yuanye's practice results. So the following scene happened. This is not called running away, this is called tactics. Teacher, your physical skills are so amazing, only a fool would choose to fight you head-on. Zena Yuanye fought back while running, and at the same time, his hands began to make hand seals. Chimera strange bird. A huge, strange-looking bird emerged from his shadow. Oh! A chimera of 4 shikigami. You are really good at giving people surprises. The moment he saw the strange bird, his eyes lit up. With his keen observation, he quickly discovered that this chimera combined the characteristics of the 4 shikigami, jade dog, great snake, gnu, and toad. Come on, let me see your strength. He waved at the strange bird fearlessly, with a provocative tone in his voice. Chirp. The strange bird let out a strange roar, then began to flap its huge wings and swooped down towards Shen Er. Not bad speed. Shen Er commented, dodging the attack of the strange bird. The strange bird flapped its wings, and several thick lightning bolts struck Shen Er. Shen Er immediately began to dodge, while keeping his eyes on the surroundings, preparing to find a favorable terrain to deal with the strange bird. It's you. He quickly found a towering tree with dense leaves, jumped directly onto the tree, and then quickly climbed up. Lightning followed one after another, and soon the tree was split beyond recognition. Nourish! The strange bird fired lightning again, knocking down the entire tree. However, Shen Er had already reached the top of the tree with his ghostly speed. He stepped on the branch, jumped into the air, and rushed straight to the strange bird in the air with his amazing jumping ability. Go to hell! He took out the soul-eating sword he carried with him, and slashed fiercely at the strange bird that had not yet reacted. At the critical moment, Zena Yuanye hurriedly transformed the shikigami into a shadow state, helping the strange bird to dodge the attack. But this also made Shen Er notice Zena Yuanye hiding nearby. He immediately turned the gunhead and attacked Zena Yuanye, and soon came in front of him. Zena Yuanye's mouth curled up slightly. Strange bird. The strange bird that he had just transformed into a shadow reappeared on the field, and used its thin and strange tail to tightly wrap around Shen Er. At the same time, it opened its mouth full of fangs and bit towards Shen Er. Oh, that's interesting. Shen Er began to struggle hard and successfully broke free from the restraint of the strange bird's tail. Then he raised the soul-eating sword and cut the strange bird through with one knife. The strange bird turned into a shadow again and drilled into the shadow of the Zen temple at night. Brat, what skills do you have? Use them all. Don't waste your teacher's time. Zenya laughed, I obey your order. Then he made a gesture, and a group of rabbits were released, surrounding Shenner. Shenner immediately became alert, which reminded him of the last battle with Zenin. Same old trick. He immediately tried to break out, and successfully cut a gap with the soul-devouring sword in his hand and escaped. But he did not see the full elephant falling from the sky. Just when Shen Er was wondering, a bull that had been accumulating power for a long time rushed towards him. Shen Er quickly stretched out his hands to hold the bull's horns and started a fight with the bull. At the same time, not far away, the strange bird that was chopped into 2 pieces by Shen Er reappeared, and it condensed the lightning into an arrow. Call out! A lightning arrow shot towards Shen Er who was competing with Guan Niu. Oh! Shen Er increased his strength and successfully threw the bull away, while avoiding the lightning arrows of the monster bird. Whoosh! After doing all this, Shen Er began to breathe slightly, obviously the previous battle had consumed him a lot. Seeing this, Chan Yuanye continued to make hand gestures, intending to summon Manxiang to give Shen Er a heavy blow. Shen Er noticed Chan Yuanye's actions and waved his hand. Okay, brat. Let's stop here today. I really want to tire you, my teacher, to death. Hehe, how is it possible? Teacher, you are so strong. Stop flattering me. Your Shikigami is powerful, but it has a fatal flaw. If the enemy attacks you directly, it will be difficult for you to deal with it. So you should practice your physical skills well during this period, and I will check when I come back. After hearing what Shenner said, Zenya lowered his head and thought. Indeed, if Shenner had bypassed his Shikigami and attacked him directly, he really couldn't deal with it. It seems that he has to find a way to add the power of the Shikigami to himself. Then he immediately reacted, wait, when he comes back. He raised his head and looked at Shenner, his tone full of reluctance. Teacher, are you leaving? Shen Er said nothing, sat down on the ground, and looked at the sunset in the distance. There is no party that will never end. Boy, if you want to become a truly strong man, you can't get used to separation. Zenin didn't say anything, but just looked at the sunset in the distance. Maybe at first he just wanted to get close to Shen Er because he wanted to have a powerful helper, but now he has completely recognized Shen Er as his teacher. Okay, it's not like I won't be back. Why do you look like I'm going to die? Shenner said helplessly. Zenin felt better, but it was true that the Zenin family had been changed a lot by him. It shouldn't happen that Shenner and the Zenin family broke up again. He could still fight side by side with his teacher in the future. Teacher, what do you think of Gojo Satoru? Hearing this, Shenner frowned. Gojo family's 6 eyes, I once saw him from a distance. I can only say that it is true. Zenya Yuanye knew what Shire was referring to, which was that the birth of Gojo Satoru broke the balance of this world, causing the number of cursed spirits to increase. But, I believe my disciple is not weaker than him. Shen Er continued, practice well, little brat, and try to trample the 6-eyed man of the Gojo family under your feet in the future. Give your teacher some face. Don't worry, teacher, I will definitely do it. Zenya Yuanye said firmly, he knew that he and Gojo Satoru would have to fight. Not only was it about the competition for the strongest title, he also wanted to have a good fight with this battle ceiling second only to Sukuna. Well, it's getting late. Shen Er stood up, patted the dust off his clothes, then took out a notebook from his clothes and handed it to Zen Temple Knight. This is all my experience in fighting, I'm giving it all to you, kid. It was really troublesome to organize it. I spent the whole night writing. Shen Er muttered, and Zen Yuanye couldn't help but feel a warm current. Go back and rest early. You should walk your own way in the future. Shenner turned and left. Zenin opened his mouth to try to keep him, but in the end he said nothing. After spending these days together, he knew that Shenner had always longed for the blue sky outside the family. There was no one in this family who was worthy of his stay. He turned his head to look at the sky. The sun was about to set. Goodbye, teacher Shenner. Chapter 11. Roar. A huge roar was heard, scaring all the birds in the dense forest to flee in all directions. A huge tiger Shikigami with bloodshot eyes stared at Zenya Yuanye as if he were staring at an ant. This was the 9th Shikigami among the 10 shadow spells, Tiger Burial. Damn, the comics before I traveled through time didn't tell me that Tiger Burial was so difficult to deal with. JJXXU. Zenin yet cursed in his heart, concentrating on watching the Tiger Shikigami in front of him, not daring to relax for a moment. The aura of this Shikigami was too terrifying, and it was far superior to the Shikigami he had subdued before. Hu Zhang obviously didn't want to communicate too much with the guy in front of him, and after adjusting his body, he pounced towards Zenin Ye. What a fast speed! Zenin Ye was shocked and quickly began to make hand seals. He knew that he was definitely not as fast as Hu Zhang, so if he wanted to subdue the opponent, he could only rely on the power of the other several Shikigami. Jade Dog, Hun. Nu. After the Hun Chuan appeared, it immediately pounced on Hu Zhang under Chan Yuanye's command, buying time for him to hide. Chan Yuanye himself flipped over and jumped onto Nu's back, flying into the air. The Hun Chuan didn't buy much time, and after a short fight, he was slapped away by Hu Zhang. Hu Zhang's bloodshot eyes quickly searched for Chan Yuanye's trace. It roared and jumped towards Chan Yuanye, who immediately controlled Nu to fly higher. Damn, you are Tiger, how can you jump so high? Zenin Ye frowned, this is the most difficult opponent he has encountered besides Shen Er. It can't be said that way, after all, he knows that Shen Er has let him win. But the tiger in front of him, let alone let him win, is almost bleeding. Rabbit. Toad. A large snake. Countless snow-white rabbits surrounded Hu Zhang, but were soon rushed out by Hu Zhang. Then several toads spit out their tongues to tie up Hu Zhang's 4 legs, and the large snakes tightly wrapped around its body, temporarily restraining Hu Zhang. Zenin Ye did not take it lightly. After taking back the rabbits, he immediately summoned the full elephant to smash towards Hu Zhang. At the same time, he summoned the bull and let it start running in the woods. Boom! Zhen Yuanye took back the toad and the snake before the elephant landed, leaving Hu Zhang alone to bear the heavy blow of the elephant. Roar! However, what Zenin Ye did not expect was that Hu Zhang actually struggled to crawl out from under Mangxiang. Can you change your body shape freely? Zenin Ye looked a little solemn. He noticed that Hu Zhang's body had become much bigger after he crawled out. It seems that the only option is to use the chimera. Then he began to make hand seals that were completely different from before. Chimera Wu Ying. As the hand seal was made, 4 shadows entered the body of the Nu under his feet. A moment later, a tall chimera with wings on its back was born under his feet. It is worth mentioning that this chimera has human-like hands and feet. The chimera beast that combines the abilities of the 5 Shikigami, Jade Dog, Nu, Rabbit, Snake, and Toad has completely changed. I don't believe I can't take you down. Zenin Ye's eyes revealed madness, and he commanded the Wu Ying to rush towards Hu Zhang. Hu Zhang looked at the Wu Ying rushing towards him with bloodshot eyes, and realized that the Shikigami in front of him was not easy to deal with. It roared, and its body became much larger again, and it was even slightly larger than the Wu Ying who combined the abilities of 5 Shikigami. It raised its claws high and slapped the Wu Ying who was lower than it without hesitation. Wu Ying immediately stretched out his arms to resist, and the 2 Shikigami began a battle of strength. Roar! Hu Zhang opened his mouth, stretched out his fangs and bit Wu Ying, while his 2 sharp claws tightly grasped Wu Ying's body. Its power actually exceeded that of the chimera beast that combined 5 Shikigami. Zena Yuanye was shocked, and quickly controlled Wu Ying to start breaking free, and at the same time began to release electricity. However, this level of electricity is far from enough to hurt Hu Zhang, who has thick skin and flesh. Seeing Hu Zhang's claws reaching out to him, Zena Yuanye quickly jumped off Wu Ying's head. After seeing his master out of danger, Wu Ying began to do his best to deal with Hu Zhang in front of him. For a while, the 2 Shikigami fought hard. This won't work. It's only a matter of time before Wu Ying is defeated. Zena Yuanye, who had hidden in a safe place, began to make hand gestures. As the hand gestures were made, a deer Shikigami appeared on the field and began to use the reversal technique to heal Wu Ying. This was the 8th Shikigami among the 10 shadow magics, Maragi. He had the ability to use the reversal technique to heal himself and others, and was successfully subdued by Zena Yuanye half a year ago. Maragi's treatment made Wu Ying's condition begin to improve, and he successfully resisted the bite of Hu Zhang. Wu Ying, discharge electricity. Dense electric currents emerged from Wu Ying's wings and wrapped around Hu Zhang's body. At the same time, Mangxiang in the distance released a large stream of water and rushed towards Hu Zhang. Sizzle! Thanks to Manxiang's help, the electric current successfully suppressed the tiger burial and caused considerable damage. Moo! A huge sound of footsteps sounded, like an earthquake. The finishing move is coming. Zenin smiled, and the one rushing over was the bull that had finished charging. The bull rushed over and punched a big hole in Hu Zhang's body. Since his body was full of electricity, Hu Zhang had no ability to dodge this attack. His body fell to the ground powerlessly, and turned into a shadow that merged into Zenin Yi's shadow. Hu Zhang, subdued successfully. It's finally over. I'm so tired. Zenin Ye came over and took back the Shikigami on the field. Now only Mako Luo is left, and soon my 10 shadows technique will be complete. But how to tame this most powerful Shikigami is a problem. Tiger burial is so difficult to deal with. If only we could get a nuclear bomb, we could just detonate it on Mako Luo. Zenin Ye sighed slightly and began to think of a good idea. Looks like I still have to continue practicing the 10 shadows technique. If you can combine the 9 Shikigami together, I won't believe that you, Mokoruo, won't kneel. His eyes flickered as he walked towards the Zenin family. It had been 2 years since Shiner left, and he was already 12 years old. With 9 Shikigami under his control and a combined beast, his strength was comparable to that of a special level Shikigami. He had a feeling that Gojo Satoru was no match for him now. It seems like I have to find a chance to give Gojo Satoru some childhood memories. He raised the corners of his mouth and thought wickedly. Chapter 12. Cousin, the gathering of the 3 great families will begin in a few days. Do you want to go? The next morning, Zenya and Naya arrived at Zenya and Yi's house on time. Gathering of the Big 3. How come I have never heard of it? Zenin Ye walked out of the room with a frown on his face. After a few years of getting along, he had already gotten used to this carefree cousin coming to see him from time to time. This gathering is held every 4 years. Last time, you were in seclusion practicing the 10 shadows technique. So the head of the family didn't bother you about this matter. Seeing Zenin Naya's old-fashioned look, Zenin Ye slapped him on the back of the head. How old are you? You talk like those old oranges. What head of the family? That's your father. Zenya Naya scratched his head embarrassedly. Got it, cousin. Zenya Ye turned his head and looked at Zenya Naya carefully. Under his loving education over the years, this kid's personality is not as gloomy as before. But he talks more and more frequently. Tell me about this gathering of 3 families. Good cousin. In fact, this gathering is a platform for the 3 great families to show off their skills to the younger generation. Not only the people from the 3 great families will attend, but also people from the smaller families will come. Has Gojo Satoru participated in this before? Zenin Ye asked with great interest. Yes. I saw him last time I went there. This gathering is quite interesting, it would be nice to go and have some fun. Zenya Ye agreed. His 10 shadows technique seemed to have reached a bottleneck recently, and the speed of improvement was too slow. It was a good opportunity to see other sorcerers' natural techniques. After Naya left, Zenya Ye packed up and left the house, heading towards the patriarch's residence. Xiao, why are you here? Zhen Yuanyat, who was handling the affairs of the clan, was surprised to see him coming. As everyone knows, their baby Shi Ying is a crazy cultivator. Every day he is either cultivating or on his way to cultivate, so why did he have time to come to him today? Can't I come and see you? Zenya Ye picked a chair and sat down, watching Naobi working there. Old man, I plan to go to the gathering of the 3 major families in a few days. Tell Yuang. So, go ahead. Naobi, who was reading a document, agreed without even looking up. Wait, you want to go out? Naobi, who realized it later, raised his head with an expression of disbelief. Any questions? No problem. Go out, take this opportunity to have some fun, I'll ask your cousin to bring a team to protect you. Naobi's words were filled with unconcealed joy. Oh my god, this little ancestor finally wants to go out for a walk. He practices 365 days a year, and he is afraid that the Zen temple will become stupid from practicing at night. There is no need for protection. There are few sorcerers in the current world of sorcery who can threaten me. Zenya Ye said nonchalantly. I can go with my cousin Naya. Well, then. Knowing the other party's temper, Naobi didn't say much. But after Zenin Ye left, he sent someone to call Zenin Shinichi and Zenin Naya over. Householder. Father. The two walked in and looked at Niobe respectfully. The big three will gather in a few days, you should know that. Patriarch, are you going to take advantage of the gathering to attack the other two families? Zenin Shinichi asked, his tone as cold as ever. Wait, what did I mean by that? Zenin Niobe looked helpless, cleared his throat and said. There will be a gathering in a few days, and our Zen temple's son will also attend. Shinichi, you are responsible for leading a team of magicians to secretly protect the safety of the Son of God. Be careful to do it in secret, so as not to be discovered by the Son of God. Naya, just stay with the Son of God. If anything goes wrong with the Son of God, I will hold you accountable. Obey the Master. Yes, Father. Time flies, and soon it is the day of the gathering of the three great families. These days, Zenya did not continue to practice the 10 Shadows technique, but took time to learn about the current world of curse. Now Gojo Satoru is 12 years old, about the same age as him. But the other party is already a hot figure in the world of curse, and it is said that his bounty in the black market has reached 1 billion yen. However, Zenya, who should be as famous as Gojo Satoru, is not well known. But this is not difficult to understand. After all, under the tight-mouthed Zenin family, it would be strange for the world of curse to know his 10 Shadows technique. I don't know how Mr. Shinji is doing. It's been 2 years, and he doesn't know to come back to see his disciple. Cousin, it's time for us to set off. At this time, Naya came in and interrupted Zenya Yuanyi's thoughts. Okay, let's go. Zenya nodded and followed Naya out of the house. The meeting of the three families was held at the Kumo family. As soon as Naya-hito and several family elders arrived, they went to talk to the top leaders of the Gojo and Kumo families. Cousin, try this, it's delicious. At this time, Zenya and Naya were sitting at a table in the banquet hall. Naya was eating heartily, enjoying the food on the table, surrounded by the young generation of the three great families. Zenin. Ye was a little absent-minded, his eyes were searching for something in the room from time to time. I'm going to go out for a while. He stood up and prepared to go out for a walk, and by the way, find the future strongest. Naya saw Zenya was going out and immediately swallowed the food in his mouth, ready to follow him out. You stay here and enjoy your meal. Who dares to harm me in the territory of the three families? Zenya Yuanya glared at Zaya and then left the banquet hall. It's so boring. He took a deep breath of the fresh air outside. Staying inside made him feel rotten. As expected, compared to useless socializing, I still prefer cultivation. But, my original purpose was not to communicate with that group of people. He began to walk around outside the banquet hall, searching for his target. Strange, didn't Gojo Satoru come? How come I can't find his shadow after searching for so long? Wait, I got it. Zenya Yuanya, who was a little confused, suddenly had his eyes light up and walked towards the figure sitting by the river. However, before he could get close, the figure turned his head and stared at Zenya Yuanya with his sky-blue eyes, revealing a little wariness in his eyes. His 6 eyes told him that the guy in front of him was very powerful. Is this the 6 eyes? It's so beautiful, it's really suitable to dig it up and make a collection. At the same time, Zenya Yuanya was also looking at Gojo Satoru. To be precise, he was looking at the other's 6 eyes. The 2 strongest magicians in the future of the curse world ushered in their first meeting. Chapter 13. I let you, a little brat, come to assassinate me. Have you curse masters become like this now? Gojo Satoru said indifferently. Zenya Yuanya? Good fellow, he is treating me as the one who came to assassinate him. Why do you think I'm here to kill you? Gojo Satoru pointed to his 6 eyes and said, my eyes can detect other people's ill intentions. The malice you just showed was too obvious. So, those are really nice eyes. Zenya held his chin up, but I am not sent by the curse master to kill you. Those lousy guys are not worthy of me serving them. Besides, this is the territory of the 3 royal families. Which curse master would be so careless as to come here to assassinate? As for the malicious intent, maybe he thinks you deserve a beating. Seeing the other party looking at him as if he was mentally ill, Gojo Satoru couldn't help but dig his toes on the floor in embarrassment. But he couldn't be blamed entirely, after all, the cursed nun who came to assassinate him during this period. And they always use some inexplicable means to get close to him. This makes him have to be more cautious when he goes out. Where are you from? Why have I never seen you before? In order to ease the embarrassment, Gojo Satoru took the initiative to ask. Zen house, Zen night. It's normal that you haven't seen me, because I didn't come at all the previous times. Zen temple, night. Gojo Satoru stood up and walked in front of him. You should know my name, I won't say more. You are from the Zenin family, right? When did your family have an interesting guy like you? I thought the Zenin family was full of old people. Zenya was speechless. Should I say that he is worthy of being Gojo Satoru? From now on, the concept of old people will be in my mind. Looking at the white-haired boy in front of him, he really regretted not bringing a camera when he came. It would be so interesting to take a picture and show it to Gojo Satoru when he grows up. It's definitely a dark history. Why did you come out instead of staying inside? Stay inside and smell the rotten smell? I don't have that hobby. Besides, you've come out, haven't you? Gojo Satoru seemed to have opened up his mouth and began to talk non-stop. The peers he had met before were far inferior to him in strength and were all too boring. Today he met someone who suited his taste, which made the usually dull Gojo Satoru talk more. So, what is your technique? I think I have awakened a very good technique. It's just so-so, not a good technique. Tell me, my technique has no lower limit. Oh, I know this. The two people who usually didn't like to communicate sat by the river and chatted for half an hour until the elders of the two families came over with people. Satoru, why are you here? We are so worried. Gojo Satoru's father, the current head of the Gojo family, Gojo Norishige, came over in a hurry with a group of people. He was relieved to see that Gojo Satoru was intact, and he almost went home to eat his father's belt stew. Xiao, are you okay? Zenin Nahito also rushed to Zenya with a group of people, followed by Zenin Naya, whose face was a little swollen. It's okay, what can happen to me? Zenya shrugged and spread his hands. After the two families appeased their own sons of God, they turned their heads and looked at each other. The atmosphere was somewhat tense. Little devil of the Zenin family, what do you want to do by approaching our son of God? An old man from the Gojo family jumped out first and said. Xin ye old dog, what do you mean by this? How could our son of God do such a thing? It was your son of God who approached our son of God first. Zenyuan Naobi protected Zenyuanya behind him, and then immediately fought back. You fart, I. There is nothing good in your Zen temple. You five families are all groups. The two families quickly began to greet each other in a friendly manner. The Kumo family and other small families watched this scene with interest. Hee, how ting. After cursing for a long time, both sides stopped in tacit understanding. Stop barking, Zen temple drunkard, and let's see who's really good at the magic competition later. Look, our son of God will beat all of you Zenyuan family members into pig heads in a while. Haha, let's wait and see. Naobi sneered twice, turned around and left with the Zenin family. In the first two competitions, the Zenin family did not perform well, mainly because the Gojo family had the bug of Gojo Satoru, and none of the young generations of other families could beat him. But this year, let's see how he will slap the Gojo family in the face. He doesn't think his son of God is worse than Gojo Satoru. When leaving, Zenya looked back with a feeling, and happened to bump into Gojo Satoru's cold eyes. After the two looked at each other, they smiled tacitly. Humph, old man Naobi, let's see if you can still laugh in the competition later. Gojo Jimmo snorted coldly, and then prepared to leave with the people of the Gojo family. Hey, Elder Shinichi, why are you so serious? Gojo Shinichi's face looked a little ugly. Master, the kid who was with Wu just now, the Zenin Naobi seemed to call him the son of God. What? That little guy is the son of God of the Zenin family. Gojo Norishige was shocked. The Zenin family hadn't had a son of God for hundreds of years. And since the other party was made the son of God, then he must be. There are too many people, let's discuss this matter after we get back. Gojo Norishige left with the Gojo family with a heavy heart. The scene of the Gojo family head and the Zenin family head dying together hundreds of years ago appeared in his mind. Is this the fate of the 6 eyes and the 10 shadows? Chapter 14. This young man Gojo Norishige really thinks he is invincible just because he created a 6-eyed beast. Let's see how our Tenkage will slap him in the face tomorrow. In the guest room of the Kumo family, Nahito took a sip of wine and said disdainfully. You guys go down and rest first, Xiao you stay. Yes, master. After Zenin Shinichi and the Zenin family's magician left, Naohito looked at Zenya with a gentle look. You are tired today. Not bad, not too tired. Zenya yawned. You are so tired that you are confused. You can hardly open your eyes, but you are not tired. Naobi rubbed his little head. Did you have fun out here? Do you think I look happy? Zenya rolled his eyes. If he had known this meeting would be so boring, he would have stayed at home to practice. But, it was worth it to meet the young version of Gojo Satoru. Naobi tacitly did not ask about Gojo Satoru. Haha, that's true. After all, Xiao, you don't like to communicate, so it's a bit difficult for you to attend this kind of gathering. I'll take you to a more interesting place next time. Zenin Naobi said as he poured wine into his mouth, his face already flushed. Let's talk about it next time. I'm going back to sleep first. Also, drink less, I don't want you to die young. Zenin Yagi snatched the bottle from Naobi's hand and turned to walk out of the house. This kid. Naobi laughed and shook his head, a warm feeling flowing through his heart. If you don't want to drink, then don't drink. From today on, I will stop drinking. He slammed the table and shouted, then he felt a little disappointed. I wish it was my child. When would Naya be so sensible? Looks like I need to fight a few more times. Achoo, achoo. Naya, what are you doing? Can you sneeze away from others? Your saliva is spraying on me. Zenya looked at Naya with disgust. Ah, I didn't mean it, cousin. I don't know which bastard scolded me, but I knew I had to make him understand why the flowers are so red. Why are you waiting for me at the door instead of going to bed? Cousin, my father told me to follow you around the clock. Otherwise, you will beat me to death with your clogs. Zenya said seriously. But his expression with half of his face swollen looked so funny. Zenya seemed to understand something, so the wound on your face was caused by your father. It's okay, I'm used to it. Naya waved his hand nonchalantly. By the way, cousin, I will sleep with you tonight. Zenya was full of question marks. Let's not do that, I'm not used to sleeping with men. Don't worry, cousin. You don't want to see. I'll continue to be beaten by my father. Cousin, what are you doing? If you have something to say, just talk it over, don't use violence. Ah! Looking at Zenya who was taken to heaven by Nu, Zenya suddenly felt that the world was quiet. He turned his head to look at Naohito's house with a complicated expression. Although this old man has a strange temper, he has to say that he is really good to him. Even under his influence, Naya is very close to him and trusts him. Although he knows that these good things are largely due to his 10 Shadows technique, what's the problem? No one will be good to you for no reason, so there is no need to dwell on this issue. Don't worry, old man. I won't let you end up like Naobi in the anime. After a night's rest, the younger generations of each family were ready to start the martial arts competition. In the martial arts arena of the Kumo family, many children around 10 years old began to rub their hands and wantonly sway their enthusiasm and sweat. Zenya sat in the spectator seat bored, watching the noobs fighting each other below. Cousin, it's my turn to perform. Watch carefully, and see how I, your cousin, beat them up. Zenya stood up and walked towards the field. Zenin family, Zenya. Kumo family, Kumo and Yun. His opponent was from the Kumo family. He first introduced himself and then began to explain his own technique. My spell is a fire spell, called Firefly, which can manipulate flames to attack. The spell is public, and the sorcerer can obtain a stronger bondage by exposing his spell information in exchange for the spell effect. It's like showing the cards in Landlord. Abandoning secrecy in exchange for a stronger benefit effect. You won't reveal your technique. Seeing that Naya was still not speaking, Kumo and Yun frowned and asked. I don't even need to reveal my technique to you. Naya's casual tone made the other party feel despised. Kumo Heun suppressed his anger, then don't regret it. 2 balls of scorching flames appeared in his hands, and after aiming at Naya's position, he threw the flames out. Too slow. Naya activated the projection spell, and the trajectory of the 2 flames was clearly visible in his vision. He dodged it casually and walked towards Kumo and Kumo leisurely. What? Kumo and Yun didn't believe it and threw several balls of fire at Naya again. Naya dodged them one by one and rushed in front of Kumo and Yun at a very fast speed. As Naya's hand touched the opponent's body, the outcome of the competition was decided. Kamo and Yoon did not perform the action set by Naya within a second, and the whole person was frozen in place. Then he was kicked off the ring by Naya. The same projectile spell as you have a good talent. The head of the Kamo family said to Naobi, who was sitting next to him in the spectator seat. Hehe, it's not worth mentioning. Naobi said proudly. This old dog will shine with a little sunshine. The head of the Kamo family cursed in his heart, but there was no abnormality on his face. The next one to go on stage is Gojo Satoru. Can your son beat him? There is no need for the head of the Kamo family to worry about this. Gojo Jimao's face was not very good, he knew that the opponent's trump card had not yet been used. I really didn't expect that the Zenin family had come up with the 10 Shadows technique in recent years. After today's competition, the whole world of curses will change. Thinking of this, he looked at Nahito with some resentment. Old thing, you have such a big treasure hidden in your family, but you didn't reveal any news, for fear that others would be unfavorable to their treasure, the 10 Shadows technique. Gojo Jimao felt a little regretful. If he had known earlier, he would not have publicized the birth of Gojo Satoru so loudly. Over the years, their child has suffered so many assassinations from curse masters, while the opponent's 10 Shadows technique has grown steadily to this day. Now that he has chosen to expose the existence of the opponent, he must have grown up. What a dog! At this time, Gojo Satoru has already played. My spell is a projection spell that can divide 1 second into 24 equal parts. After seeing that his opponent was Gojo Satoru, Naya immediately began to reveal his technique. I'm not interested in your technique. I'll give you a chance to get out of here and let that guy take over. Gojo Satoru didn't even give Naya an extra glance, and said in a flat tone. You. Naya's face flushed immediately, he felt insulted. However, he did not leave as the other party said, if you want to find my cousin, you have to get past me first. Chapter 15. Naya dodged a few times and rushed to Gojo Satoru, stretching out his hand to launch a projectile. However, his hand seemed to have touched an invisible wall and stopped in front of Gojo Satoru. No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't move forward even a little bit. Is there no limit? The distance around the caster's body is infinitely reduced, and the closer to the caster, the slower the movement. It's a really rogue technique. Zenya and Yet, who was watching and analyzing the battle. The technique is forward, Kang. Gojo Satoru directly used Kang to lift Naya up and threw him out of the arena like a chicken. Is this the gap between the strongest and the ordinary magicians? There is no comparison at all. Zenin secretly complained in his heart, completely ignoring the fact that he was also a bug in the ordinary magicians. Next up, Zenin Yoru. With Naya's decisive defeat, it was Zenin Yoru's turn to appear on the battlefield. Without even a moment of mourning for Naya's defeat, the next person to arrive on the battlefield was Zenin Yoru. Zenin pinched his hands and a huge, an owl-like bird appeared at his feet. Call out! After Nu appeared, he took Zenin to the field and landed safely in front of Gojo Satoru. Is this the 10 Shadows technique? At this time, the audience had already been in an uproar because of Zenin Yi's godly move. Everyone had a big question mark on his head. Damn it, when did your Zenin family create the 10 Shadows technique? Why didn't we get any news? Your Zenin family is really good at hiding it. The people from other families in the audience stared at Naobi with eyes full of resentment. Naobi didn't feel uncomfortable because of these eyes, on the contrary, he was very happy now. Ha ha ha, look at these people, they are so ignorant, they are shocked by our son of God. A group of human machines. Naobi's excitement was not reflected on his face. He picked up the teacup and took a sip. Why don't you all say anything, don't you like to talk? Naobi, hee. The others, no he-ho, plus, oh. And Gojo Satoru on the field was also shocked by the way Zenin appeared. This guy is even more pretentious than him. How about it, handsome? Zenin showed off his hair and looked at Gojo Satoru with a smile. Tisk, what's there to be proud of? We'll talk about it after you can beat me. Gojo Satoru curled his lips, his eyes revealing a fighting spirit. He was young but had never been defeated, and he couldn't wait to compete with Zenin. Can we start now? Zenin turned his head and looked at the referee beside him. The referee nodded blankly. Jade Dog. Zenin took the initiative and formed the Jade Dog seal with both hands. 2 Jade Dogs, one white and one black, rushed towards Gojo Wu. The technique is reversed Kang. Gojo Satoru was not in a hurry, and used King to pull the jade dog of Zenin yet. But soon his face changed, and he found that his King could not pull the two dogs at all. Gojo Satoru did not believe in evil and increased the output efficiency of King, and only then did he pull the jade dog to the side. Gojo Satoru, who was slightly panting, looked at Zenin with a serious face. "Is this the 10 shadows technique you brought out?" Zenin smiled but said nothing. Since he wanted to fight, he would naturally do his best to deal with it. The next moment, an extremely huge amount of curse power gushed out of his body. Gojo Satoru suddenly felt like he was a lonely ship in the sea. And the faces of the people in the spectator seats were as ugly as constipation. This curse power has far exceeded the level of a first-level sorcerer. Big Snake. Toad. With the hand seals being made again, plus the jade dog and new summoned earlier, there are now 4 Shikigami on the field. They begin to attack Gojo Satoru. The big snake opens its bloody mouth and bites towards Gojo Satoru. The technique is reversed King. Gojo Satoru used King to teleport to the other side. Kin compressing the distance between the starting point and the end point achieve a teleportation-like effect. But I also know this move. Zenin smiled confidently, rushed to Gojo Satoru at an extremely fast speed, raised his fist and hit him hard in the face. Gojo Satoru was startled and quickly stretched out his hands to block. But he couldn't help but step back several steps. The effect is good. Just now, Zenin successfully added the speed of the jade dog to himself. Coupled with the physical skills taught by Shen Er, he barely achieved an effect similar to teleportation. He did not intend to give Gojo Satoru a chance to breathe, and raised his fist again to hit Gojo Satoru. After all, Gojo Satoru was just a child, and his physical skills were not as good as Zenin who had been severely trained by Shen Er, and he soon fell behind. This limitless technique is really like a tortoise shell. Zenin stopped, and Gojo Satoru, who had been trying to maintain the limitless technique for a long time, collapsed to the ground. Looking at Gojo Satoru who was unable to fight again, he suddenly felt a little bored. Gojo Satoru was still too weak now. He couldn't deploy the domain, couldn't use the void technique, and couldn't even reverse the technique. "I don't want to play anymore, I'm leaving." He took back his Shikigami, jumped off the stage, and walked out of the martial arts arena. The magicians surrounding the stage quickly retreated to both sides, making way for him. Gojo Satoru. Gojo Norimo stood up anxiously and rushed to the field to check on Gojo Satoru. He was relieved when he found that the other party was just unconscious. "Cousin, you are the strongest." Neya's eyes were full of admiration, and he secretly made up his mind. Starting tomorrow, he must work hard to practice and stand beside his cousin in the future. "Well, actually I didn't teach him much, he just has good talent. After all, these are the 10 kage of our Zen temple." In the spectator seats, Niobe smiled and responded to the compliments from the other family members. "Hey, head of the Gojo family, where are you going in such a hurry?" He pretended to be puzzled and looked at Gojo Norimo who was leaving with Gojo Satoru. Gojo Norimo glanced at Zenin Naohito coldly and said, "Don't be too proud too soon. We in the Gojo family will remember what happened today." "Tisk, who's afraid of you?" Zenin Naohito curled his lips in disdain and continued to enjoy the compliments of those small families. After a long time, he returned to his residence. The first thing he did after returning was to call Zenin Shinichi over. Strengthen the protection of the Son of God. At this time, Zenya was thinking hard in his room. He had just finished a battle and had no intention of resting. The battle with Gojo Satoru brought him a lot of insights, and he had to digest them as soon as possible. After this blow, Gojo Satoru should grow up at a faster rate. I should also start to subdue the demon Su Luo. I just had a good idea, I can try it out. Chapter 16. The day after the spell competition, Zenin Naohito took Zenin and others back to the Zenin family. The purpose of this trip has been achieved, and it is useless to stay here. However, after this battle, Zenin officially began to become famous in the world of spells. Possessing the strongest spell passed down from the Zenin family's ancestors, and having defeated Gojo Satoru, he suddenly became a hot figure in the world of spells. Overnight, his name was listed on the black market. And his value has skyrocketed, and it is estimated that he will soon catch up with Gojo Satoru. There was some undercurrent in the world of spells for a while. This made Naohito immediately alert, and he quickly deployed Bing's magicians around the Zenin family. and outsiders are strictly prohibited from approaching the Zenin family, and violators will be killed on the spot. He is worthy of being my disciple. He actually beat up the six-eyed kid from the Gojo family. In an unknown apartment, Shen Er looked at the information from the black market and couldn't help feeling proud. If your teacher hadn't quit this job, I would have really traded you for some bounty. Of course, I wouldn't have traded you for the bounty and then brought you out. The meal is ready. A gentle female voice came from the living room, and Shen Er's mouth curled up unconsciously. I'm here. On a busy street in Tokyo, a sunny-looking man bought dessert at a dessert shop and walked up to his partner with a flattering look on his face. Corey, I bought you your favorite dessert, don't be unhappy. The woman named Corey is beautiful, but the sutures on her forehead somewhat ruin her beauty. You eat it yourself, I don't want to eat it. Yuji Corey said irritably. You idiot who can't figure out who you are, don't you realize that I just don't want to bother with you? Corey. Seeing the pitiful look of Yuji Corey seemed to have thought of something. She smiled and took the dessert from Yuji Jin's hand. Okay, I'm not angry. Ren, I'm a little thirsty, can you go buy me some water? Okay, I'll go right away. After Yuji Jin left like a chicken, the smile on Corey's face stopped, and a trace of gloom flashed in her eyes. Having a sixth eye is already troublesome enough, and now there is another 10 shadow method. Well, it's good to have a little challenge, so that I won't be too bored. But, my plan has to speed up the process. I'm back, Corey. I bought your favorite barley tea. Seeing Hitachi Kojime trotting back and handing her the barley tea without even wiping the sweat off his face, she couldn't help but smile. Ren, let's have a baby. Old man, I want to learn the simple domain. In the Zeniyuan family's mansion, Zeniyuan pushed open the door and strode in, startling Niobe who was drinking tea. Ahem, Xiao, why didn't you come to practice with me today? Today's training mission is completed. Old man, I want to learn the simple field. Zenin spoke up and emphasized his purpose. Simple field, you have found the right person. Niobe was excited and began to talk non-stop. When it comes to simple fields, the first choice is naturally the secret teachings of the three great families. Of course, Xiao, if you want to learn the true yin style, I, an old man, also know a little bit about it. That's great, I want to learn it. Zeniyuan's eyes lit up and he looked at Niobe with expectation. Ha ha ha, no problem. Let's go to the training ground. Master, there are still some matters that have not been dealt with today. Seeing that Niobe was about to leave, the attendant beside him reminded him in a low voice. Niobe frowned and said, I will deal with it when I come back in the evening. Can't you see that I am teaching the son of God the simple field now? Xiao, let's go. Zeniyuan family training ground. Hey, Dad, cousin, why are you here? Naya, who was sweating, saw Niobe and Zenin coming to the training ground and asked curiously. Your cousin wants to learn a simple field, I will teach you on the spot. Naya, you should listen to it too. Great. Naya ran over with a smile on his face to listen. And Niobe began his teaching. As we all know, the simple domain is created to counter the inevitable effect of the domain. The most commonly used simple field is the true yin flow, but our Zen temple's secret falling flower love is also good. You can release your magic power to counterattack the moment the opponent's spell touches you. Now let me demonstrate it again. Secret teachings, the feeling of falling flowers. Zen temple Nahito made hand seals, and a rain of cherry blossoms fell from the sky. Is this the unique domain technique of the three great families? Zeniyuan carefully felt the changes in the surrounding environment. One piece of cherry blossom after another became a barrier for the caster to neutralize the inevitable effect. As for the true yin flow, its effect is similar to the love of falling flowers, but it is simpler and easier to learn. Therefore, it has become the first choice for most magicians to fight against the field. Then, Nahito demonstrated the simple field of the true yin style again. Old man, does our Zen temple's library have any records about the simple field? Of course there is. Our Zen temple has a long history and has all kinds of records. But Xiao, why are you suddenly interested in the simple field? Niobe asked with a smile. Zenin's words about our Zenin family touched his heart. Well, let's keep it secret for now. Zenin kept it a secret. Old man, Naya, I'm going to the library first. This kid. Niobe shook his head and looked at Naya beside him. Naya, I haven't checked your academic performance for a while, so today is a good time to check it out. Naya Gojo, you've been practicing for a whole day, take a break. Gojo. Jimao looked at his son with some distress. After being defeated by Zenin yet at the family gathering, Gojo Satoru changed his previous lazy style and began to practice hard. This should have been a happy thing, but Gojo Satoru was too hard-working. Who can practice for 15 hours a day? I'm not tired yet, father. Gojo Satoru said coldly, his mind filled with the image of Zenin yet. Don't you even have the qualifications to let you use your full strength? When we meet next time, I will definitely have a good fight with you. Alas! Gojo Norishige turned away helplessly. When he returned to his residence, he called the elder in charge of intelligence in the family. Is there still no information about the son of God of the Zenin family? Patriarch, the other party covered it up too well, and he had never left the Zenin family before the gathering of the three great families. Okay, I understand. You can go down now. He has been very honest these days. He thought that he had created a 6-eye and it was safe, but he didn't expect that the Zenin family secretly came up with the 10 shadows technique. This has made him a little exhausted recently. Satoru, the future of the Gojo family depends on you. Chapter 17. True Yin Style. Simple Domain. On the training ground, Chan Yuanyi's legs were spread out, and his left arm was clenched into a fist in front of his chest. This was the signature move of the True Yin Style Simple Domain. No way, cousin, do you need to open a domain to beat a little karami like me? Naya, who was pulled by Zenin yet to serve as a sparring partner, opened his mouth in surprise. Stop talking nonsense and get started. Zenin yet urged impatiently. Okay, watch out. Naya activated the projection spell and rushed towards Zenin yet at his fastest speed. However, when his body entered Zenin Yi's simple domain, a huge spell force began to impact his body, successfully pushing him out. Ouch! Naya fell to the ground with his butt. I seriously suspect you of playing a fake match. Zenin Yi's face was speechless. He hadn't used much mana to fight back. Cousin, I haven't recovered from the injury I sustained last time as your sparring partner. Naya got up from the ground, looking pitiful. Never mind. I'll let you go. Anyway, I have already tested the simple field. Shenzi, Master Gojo is urging you to come over. A servant hurried over to report. Gojo Satoru? Why is he here again? Zenin Ye frowned. Ever since the last meeting of the three great families, Gojo Satoru has been coming to the Zenin family to look for him from time to time. Because he is the next head of the Gojo family, and this grandson keeps saying that he has a good relationship with him. So Naobi couldn't stop him. Take me there. Hey, yet, you are finally here. Gojo Satoru, wearing sunglasses, stood up and hugged Zen Temple yet. Why don't you stay at Gojo's house and come to Zenin's house to harass me? Zenin pushed Gojo away without leaving a trace. What is harassment? Aren't we friends? Who is your friend? The two of them started bickering as usual. Ever since Zenin Ye defeated Gojo Satoru at the meeting of the three great families 3 years ago, Gojo Satoru changed his lazy personality and began to practice madly. And after that, he would come to Zenin's house from time to time to spar with Zenin Ye. But he never won once. Originally, Zenin Ye was worried that Gojo Satoru's personality would be different from the original because of his attack, but later he found out that he was too worried. Gojo Satoru seemed to automatically unlock his arrogant and talkative personality when he reached a certain age. Although he could not beat Zenin Ye, it did not prevent him from looking down on everyone else except Zenin Ye. Come on, fight me, I have learned a new skill recently. Zenin Ye covered his forehead helplessly, he missed the cold little white hair before. Knight, are you ready to welcome the powerful me? Stop talking nonsense, you white-haired chatterbox. Damn, you actually called me a chatterbox, you gloomy black hair. Damn it, I'm itching for trouble. Look at you. Gojo Satoru's gloomy words successfully ignited the Knight of the Zen Temple. He began to make gestures quickly with his hands, Jade Dog, Hun. The Hun dog formed by the combination of 2 Jade dogs roared and rushed towards Gojo Satoru. You're using this trick again, can you be a little more creative, black-haired guy? Gojo Satoru showed a hint of mockery at the corner of his mouth, and slowly opened his left hand. The technique is in the same direction, King. A wave of energy with great traction appeared around his body, directly throwing the dog that pounced on him away. Compared with the difficulty he had 3 years ago, he is now obviously more than 1 point stronger. Nourish! Several lightning bolts poured down towards him, and Gojo Satoru quickly used King to teleport over a short distance to avoid them. In the distance, Zenin had a calm expression on his face, and he continued to fire lightning bolts at Gojo Satoru. He could now load the power of Shikigami into himself at will. Suddenly, his expression froze, and his body involuntarily dodged to the side. As expected of Ye-chan, you noticed this. Gojo Satoru, who teleported behind Zenin, looked a little regretful. He almost succeeded in the sneak attack. Let's take a look at your situation first. Zenin dusted himself off and said with a smile on his face. Gojo Satoru then noticed that his legs were tightly wrapped by the toad's tongue. The toad is not aggressive, and you cannot automatically activate unlimited magic defense at this time. This is my chance. I hope you enjoy the following treat, Wu. The hunt dog that was thrown out earlier rushed towards Wu again, biting him through the unlimited technique. The Nu in the air released countless small lightning bolts and shot towards Wu. Although it did not break his unlimited technique, it completely blocked his vision. Damn, there are too many lightnings, completely blocking the perception of the 6 eyes. Gojo Satoru's face was a little unhappy. He knew that these were the means used by Zenin to consume his magic power, but he had no good way to deal with it. Looks like I have to use that trick. He put his index and middle fingers together and pointed them at the dog that was pressing on him. The technique was reversed. A huge shock wave knocked the dog in front of him away, and he took this opportunity to break free from the toad's restraints. As soon as he was free, he used King to teleport to a distance and successfully avoided the full elephant that fell from the sky. Wonderful, even I can't think of so many at once. The calculation ability of the 6 eyes is really amazing. Zenya applauded generously. It was beyond his expectation that Gojo Satoru could grow to this level in just 3 years. He has learned it. He is really a genius. Hey, what do you think? Just say I'm better than you. Gojo Satoru panted slightly. The previous operation had consumed a lot of his energy, and he had just learned and was not yet proficient in using it. Still fighting. Looking at the other party's expression, Zenin said considerately. Fight, why not fight? Gojo Satoru raised his head, his tone full of confidence in himself, while at the same time he did not forget to mock. You are not going to be able to do it, knight. Very good. Zenin made a hand seal expressionlessly. As a man, he hated it most when others said he was not good enough. The dog, the Nu, the elephant and the toad turned into shadows and combined together. A huge chimera slowly rose from the shadows. Chimera, giant. This. Gojo Satoru stood there in a daze. Looking at the huge monster in front of him, the corners of his mouth twitched. Can the 10 shadows method be played like this? It's all included. Zenin gave the other person a smile. I don't believe it, hey. After a moment, Gojo Satoru lay on the ground helplessly. Don't be complacent, wait until I have more cursed power, and I will use a he to take your chimera away. You are really stubborn. Zenya released the 10 shadows technique and walked over to lie down beside Gojo Satoru. The afterglow of the setting sun shone on their faces. Are you interested in going to the technical high school with me? Gojo Satoru turned his head to look at Zen Temple. The boy had a cold expression, clear facial lines, and a pair of bright eyes like starlight. Wait a while, I have something important to deal with. Okay, it's a deal. Chapter 18. Zenin did have something important to do, and it was something that would shock the entire world of sorcery if it got out. He planned to subdue the strongest Shikigami among the 10 kinds of shadow magic, Makara. March 25, 2005. This morning, the area around the back mountain of Zenin's family was filled with members of Bing and Kyujuliu. They blocked every passage in the back mountain, doing their best to ensure that no one could enter and disturb them. Master, do you think the Son of God will succeed? Zenin Shinichi, who was in charge of directing the Bing organization to set up surveillance, came over and asked worriedly. Don't worry, we have to trust Xiao. The head of the family, Zenin Naobi, gulped down a big mouthful of wine, and his heart was also full of worries. Xiao, as long as you can come out intact, I will definitely quit drinking this time. He secretly made up his mind in his heart. Father, cousin, look how scared you two are. Isn't it just about taming the demon Su Luo? My cousin will definitely win. Naya crossed his arms and walked over with a relaxed look. You know nothing, little brat. Can Mako Luo be tamed just by saying so? You should know that none of the masters of the 10 shadow techniques of our Zenin family have been able to successfully subdue the most powerful Shikigami. Even the most gifted head of the family 400 years ago only relied on Makara and the six-eyed man of the Gojo family to perish together. Niobe was furious and caught Naya and gave him a lecture. But you are right about one thing, Xiao will definitely win. He clenched his fists firmly, his body trembling slightly. Naya shook his head and laughed, he had never seen his father so nervous. Then he turned his head and looked at the dense forest in front of him, his expression a little sad. I'm not nervous, because I knew from the beginning that cousin, you will definitely win. He recalled the days when Zenin yet asked him to be a sparring partner. Because the other party had to constantly experiment with new skills, Naya had to be beaten differently. But because of this, he became the person in the Zenin family who knew Zenin Yi's strength best. The taming ceremony has begun. Zenayuan Shinichi said in a heavy tone. In fact, without his reminder, everyone present had already felt the powerful curse power shrouding them. This was a terrifying power that could directly strike the soul. At this time, deep in the back mountain, Zenayuan Ye stretched out his hands and began to chant the Buru mantra. Burabu, Yura Yura. 8-grip sword, unicorn god. Makara. As the Buru mantra was chanted, Zenyuan Ye felt that the environment around him gradually became darker. A strong curse force pressed on him, making him feel a little breathless. Ouch! A huge cicada pupa appeared in front of him, and 2 rows of 2-meter-tall black dog-like Shikigami beside him howled in unison. Zenayuan Ye gritted his teeth and resisted the pressure of Mako Luo's breath, and his hands had already begun to make hand seals. This was related to whether he could dominate this world of spells in the future, and he must not lose. Time passed slowly, and the cicada pupa wrapped around Mako Luo began to crack. 2 giant hands stretched out from the cracked cicada pupa and directly tore the already broken cicada pupa into pieces. Zenayuan Ye concentrated and stared at Mako Luo. This was his first meeting with the strongest Shikigami. Of course, if he lost, it would also be the last time. Mako Luo was 5 meters tall, with no eyes on his head and 4 wings on both sides. There was a tail attached to the back of his head, a demon-repelling sword attached to his right arm, and a dharma wheel like a rudder attached to his head and back. After it came out of the cicada pupa, it locked onto Zenayuan Ye, the person who initiated the subjugation ceremony, and then rushed directly towards him. Zenayuan Ye immediately dodged to the side. Jade dog, Nu, toad, snake. Chimera, strange bird. Zenayuan Ye's hands flipped quickly, and in just a few seconds he summoned 4 kinds of Shikigami and merged them together. Under Zenayuan Ye's control, the strange bird rushed towards Mako Luo without hesitation. It bound the opponent tightly with its tail, and released electric current to travel around Mako Luo's body. While fighting with the strange bird, the dharma wheel on Mako Luo's head began to rotate. The next second, all the injuries caused by the electric current on his body were healed. Have you started to adapt? Zenin Ye frowned, searching for a way to fight Mako Luo in his mind. Try not to attack it with the same method, you must kill it with 1 strike. So. His hands began to form hand seals again. Manxiang. Manxiang fell from the sky and smashed towards Mo Su Luo. The bull appeared and began to run around the forest. Marajika. The light of the reversal technique shone on the strange bird that was fighting with Makulo, and began to restore its state. Tiger burial. The huge tiger-shaped god roared and rushed towards Mako Luo. Facing the siege, Mako Luo first used the sword of demon repelling on his right arm to repel the strange bird. Then he teleported to avoid the attack of the elephant. Then he faced the tiger burial that rushed towards him, and the dharma wheel on his head began to rotate again. What a pervert! Zenin Ye cursed in his heart, commanding Huzang to constantly change his body shape to aggravate Mako Luo's injuries. At the same time, he released the chimera state of the jade dog, the Nu, the toad, and the big snake, and controlled the running and charging Guanyu to stop, and ran wildly in the opposite direction towards Mako Luo's position. You just stay here until the bull comes. Simple domain. Shadow Demon Cage. Zenin Ye formed seals with his hands. Except for the 3 Shikigami, Huzang, Yuanlu, and Guanyu, all the other Shikigami returned to Zenin Ye's shadow. He himself ran madly towards Mako Luo. At the same time, a cage with a radius of 5 meters slowly appeared under his feet. He and Mako Luo were successfully locked up together. This was the inspiration he got from the true yin flow. It was his own simple domain, just like Suyu's Mixuji cage. It can not only neutralize the must-hit effect of the domain, but also delay Mako Luo's adaptation to the technique. It is his special weapon to deal with Mako Luo. Mako Luo seemed to have sensed something. It gave up Huzang in front of it and rushed towards Zenin yet. However, Huzang did not want to give it the opportunity to capture the thief first, and bit Mako Luo's body tightly. "What do you want to do, bastard? I will satisfy you." Zenin Ye grinned, and rushed towards Mako Luo instead of retreating. He took out a long dagger from the shadow, which was a special grade curse tool he brought out from the Zenin family's treasury in advance. "Go to hell!" He stabbed Mako Luo's body with the dagger, and with the help of Huzang's attack, he successfully caused Mako Luo considerable damage. After leaving the dagger in Mako Luo's body, he quickly pulled away, and the curse tool was filled with poison in advance. "Why isn't your Dharma wheel turning? Don't you like it?" Zenin Ye laughed recklessly, his hands constantly gathering lightning and smashing it towards Mako Luo, setting off a large patch of fire on it. "Guanyu is coming." Zenin Ye, who was playing with Mako Luo, moved his ears and his eyes were filled with excitement. "Goodbye."